you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true!
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Backstage with Al and J. Are you ready?
You what?
And now, your host, Al Silva.
Who? Welcome to another edition of Backstage with Al and J. Using temporary microphones, so I might bust out some impromptu ASMR. Be on the lookout for that. But joined with me, as always, well, first of all, is me. I'm here. Thank you. And as always, we got Jason, who could or could not be in this room. Jason, welcome to the show again. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Fantastic. Now, last week we had the band on, so it's like I feel like they're two completely separate shows. That's where I was telling you. It's like when we get actual like musicians and bands over, it has to be like its own special show. So the ideal would be going forward. It's like, all right, bands on like Saturdays, and then the normal talky one on Tuesdays. So then you guys can be like, oh, 10:30, yeah, 10:30, bro. This is the problem why it went on this late. And yes, I still have to go to bed on time. The reason why is because I had all my gear taken over to this house in Detroit. They call it the Disturbio house. And there's a band called Disturbio. And the one guy, Allo, the drummer, he owns this house. And it's like he's renovating it as he goes because it's like in rough shape right now. But they have a studio in there that they use for practice space. So I brought all the gear over because Zachary from Natural Graffiti wanted me to help him record a band called Lead Poisoning. And so I was like, sure. So I brought all my stuff. And one of the things that I brought over was all my microphones, too. So I'm setting up for the show because I didn't get a chance to yesterday. And I'm realizing I didn't have my mic. So now me and Jason have like these really fancy mic here things. Oh, I forgot to put on the me and Jason thingy here. I'll just bounce back and forth between them. So that's why he got the super fancy mic. Obviously, these mics are good, but the problem is they pick up everything.
Yeah.
They pick up like every single thing. The benefit, though, is you don't need to have them directly in front of your face, which is pretty cool. Hang on while I stall for just a split second to have this one scene that I know I'll need over and over again, because me and Jason do talk together at points. Every now and then I'll let him say something. Let me see here. There he is.
And
all right,
there
there's the getting ready scene. All right, and beyond just Jason, Jason's always a special guest because he's the co-host, but when we actually have someone over, then they're an actual special guest. So today, joining us in the studio, we have Jason's girlfriend, Carolina.
Hi.
Carolina. Oh, no.
This time I can
Carol.
tell you it's Carolina.
Carolina.
Yeah.
One of those things. Thank you. Tabitha, welcome as well. Father, welcome. 10:30, that's just how it is. That's just how it's going to be. But we got a jam-packed show for you, as in jam-packed. I do have things set up, so that way we can do this thing. Now, let's get to the pregame, because it's very important we have something to celebrate here.
It's time for the pregame.
No, what are you waiting for? Do it!
Oh, all right. So, very important news. I didn't get to say it at the last show because the band was over and they don't care. I mean, it's like, oh, we're talking about the band. They're selfish. But this has to do definitely with this show because this show is a major piece of the future puzzle going on in the future. But we are official. We are legit. Oh, I can't do that part. We have an official company. So I filed, remember a few weeks ago, I said, hey, I'm going to file with the government, but we're not going to celebrate until it's actually, I get the paper back. I got the paper back. We got the Michigan seal of approval. We got the federal government seal of approval. I even started a business bank account, which is pretty sick. So, yes, Epic Media Productions is the official company for all things, for all my endeavors. I'm trying to think of like anything that has to do with media in any way, shape, or form. If it's video production, video editing, content creation, audio production, photo shoots. I already got a client that wants to do a photo shoot for a quinceañera, sort of. It's like She's not doing a real quinceañera, but she wants to like put on a dress, go to a park, and take a bunch of photos to pretend like she had a quinceañera because it's like the same thing. I said, hey, man, you pay me money? You just give me my money, and I'll like do whatever you want, honestly. And I think it's great for the portfolio as well. Like, hey, we do whatever, willy-nilly. I'm willing to do it all for money. And then at some point, maybe, we'll niche down and be like, okay, we really just do these couple things. But right now,
see what does the best.
The number one goal right now is to like make enough money to actually do this full time. So the idea is I have to dedicate all my side hustle because I still have a normal job that has to pay the bills and pay child support. And then eventually build the company up so much where it's like, okay, this is how much we make now, only putting in 20, 30 hours a week into it. Unlock the full-time job, and now an extra 40 goes into there. And then as we start being able to add layers to it and hire people, because I know in the beginning, this is the thing I was thinking about, it'd be nice to like get some people in, we'll hire them, but well, you got to pay them like minimums, like minimum wage and stuff. It's so stupid. There's a minimum wage.
Unless
How dumb is that, right?
them.
That's what I was thinking. So I got to look up the rules for internships, so that way I can get people like working without paying them, but with like. You can't do future promises, but like something like that. Like, hey, I won't pay you now. It's all experience. But in the future, when we make money, you will be the first in line to be fully employed. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I already got with ChatGPT, and I was already like, hey, Gary, I want to make a mission statement. This is what we're about. And so I got a mission statement, and I'll go ahead and pull it up here. 1 second. Let me just put it on my face so that way you don't see me pulling up my Gmail. So I got Gary to make me a mission statement, and we made our non-negotiable values, the things that the people need if they want to be a part of us. Gary, where did you put it? I have way too many emails. You guys can't see this, but I have 17,000 unread emails here. Mission.
Same as Jason.
Oh, you know what it is?
Mine was 43,000.
Oh yeah.
43. Oh, that's good. That's good. He's going for the high score.
Yeah, he synced with mine, and now I have 43 unread emails in
here
my
we go.
phone.
All right, here we go. Here is the Epic Media Productions core mission statement. Epic Media Productions exists to help anyone and everyone bring their vision to life through high-quality video, audio, and photo productions. Whether it's businesses, brands, content creators, artists, or individuals, we blend creativity, technical expertise, and a passion for storytelling to create content that connects, inspires, and stands out. Our mission is simple. We help people be legendary. And our tagline is Be Legendary. And no, it's not taken. You would think like, oh, that's taken. Nike probably has it. They don't. They're just do it, first of all.
You think Neil Patrick Harris would have it?
He didn't.
He didn't.
Sorry. He didn't. Be Legendary is not taken, but now it is. So that's going to be when you see, like, at the end promos. I haven't added it to this show, but eventually I'll do, like, an end video where, you know how I do the outro? And then at the end, it's going to be like, Epic Media Productions. Be legendary. Something really cool like that.
Sick.
It's going to be really sick. And then these are our core values that I was like, what do we want to be about that when we interview people, we're looking for these things, right? So as a company, we want to be innovative, thinking outside the box, pushing creative and technical boundaries to produce unique and impactful content. We want to be passionate. We love what we do, and we bring energy, enthusiasm, and dedication to every project, no matter the size. We're quality focused, excellence our standard. We pay attention to every detail to ensure our work exceeds expectations. We have integrity. We operate with honesty, transparency, and respect, always doing what's right for our clients and our team. We're adaptable. We embrace change and stay ahead of industry trends and remain flexible to find the best solutions in any situation. We're grateful. We appreciate every opportunity, every client, and every creative challenge, approaching our work with humility and gratitude. And finally, fun. Creativity should be enjoyable. We cultivate a positive, energetic work environment that makes the process exciting for both of our team and our clients. So this is the start of a company, people. It's got to get crazy. Now, honestly, it's going to be a very slow snowball. But that's what snowballs are like, right? They're just like, do, and then you get a little snowball, and it's a little bit, and then next thing you know, it's rolling. Now it's bigger. Now you're like, oh, crap, is it going to run over that whole town? You know what I mean? Like, that's where we're going to go here.
Town.
You know, like in
Then you can build a snowman.
The Grinch, you know, it's like, oh, the snowball's rolling, and it's going to crush everybody. That's kind of what we're going for.
I had that happen by accident one time. It was trying to build the world's largest snowman.
Yeah.
I made the middle bigger than the bottom by accident.
Oh, no.
Snowball effect.
That's not good. That's not good. But it is good because we should crush all the competition.
Yeah.
They got to go. Competition, don't wait. And what's funny is, like, I have so many people reaching out to me that want to do something. And honestly, like, at this point, obviously I'm not, we haven't created enough value to charge what it really takes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, somebody's asking me, like, how much would it cost to do this? And I'm like, there's how much it should cost, and there's how much I'll charge you right now. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
it's like, because you're in the entry, what do they call it? Like a promotional period. You know what I mean? You're like, you're getting in on the first set of clients. So I already got like a couple clients that I'm doing work for.
Call it an introductory price.
Introductory rate. You know what I mean? So I'm doing $20 an hour for this stuff. What is it really worth? We're going to get to $100 an hour, to be honest. Because like to get like the whole, that's what we're going to get to. So we're starting at 20. I'm about to up the price for anybody that's not these first 5 people that I've been working with. It's going to $50 because honestly, there's too many people messaging me. So I'm like, how do we get them to go away? Raise the price and they'll leave or they'll pay. I mean, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's one or
like
the
I
other.
can't
It
pay
can't
that
be both.
or, all right, fine. Either way, it's a win-win situation. So I'm looking forward to doing that. All right. And then finally, as far as the pregame goes, sorry, I lost the thingy. Oh, we got the new merch store. Wanted to make sure I showed that off because I redesigned everything so that way we can have all of the redesigned merchandise all flow through one pay. Now that I have an official company, you know, the government's like, well, what about them taxes? What about them taxes? And so I want to be fully prepared for that. So I'm funneling anything that I make money for that's not my real job. All of it's going to funnel to Epic Media Productions so that way I can give the government what they want, which is their money, and that's fine. So that's so funny. It's because so when you see the glitchiness where it's like, I'm entering the matrix, it's because I'm showing them themselves because I think that's important that everybody like kind of sees what's going on. But when I show the content, it's like, hang on a second. We enter the matrix. So this is the reimagined merch store. I got new merchandise that, remember how we were talking about, like, I want it to look so cool that you'd probably buy it and you have no idea who I am. You know what I mean? You're like, all right, so like this one, I thought this was really cool. It's Be Legendary. It got the shades. It got a UFO, a purple guitar, gaming controller, a camera, a MacBook. Boom, my signature. You'd be like, who's that guy? I don't know. You don't need to know. Give me $15. That's how it works, okay? This one I thought was really cool. And obviously, yes, these are all AI generated. You think I drew this? No, I didn't draw this. But I worked with AI over and over again until I got something I liked. And this one's called Never Give Up. And I was like, I want a guy on a mountain with a Metallica shirt and wearing sunglasses and this and that. And what's funny is I was thinking myself, but then after I did it, I was like, that's Jason. That looks like Jason.
It doesn't look that much like me.
I think it does, like, from a distance a little bit. Plus, like,
definitely.
if you don't, like, maybe if I blur it out a little bit more, but let's just pretend that's AI's version of Jason.
Right.
Okay? So if you want to support Jason there, buy one of those shirts. And then I also got the There Is No Box, because I want people to remember it's not about thinking outside the box. There is no box at all. So if you want to do that, there's one you can rep so somebody can be like, what do you mean there's no box? And you could tell them what that means. And then I thought, wouldn't it be really cool if there was somebody out there that was like really rich and they're like, man, I'm rich and I want to support this guy, but I don't want to buy a $15 cheap t-shirt. Does he got anything premium for me? So I decided to make a couple premium products. So this is the Al Silva signature. It costs $100, but it's made on a fine Under Armour t-shirt. It's the most expensive t-shirt that I could select on Fourth Wall. And so if you're real rich and you're like, man, I got to support this guy. How do I look cool, but also make sure people know I'm rich? This is how you can do it, okay? $100, you get the sweet signature, and I even have it in hoodie form. And then I also got this, because remember, I was going to do the tagline, but then the actual thing I wanted people to wear is like, I'm legendary, because I want you to be legendary, right? So then you'd buy a shirt that says, I'm legendary. And they'd be like, what do you mean you're legendary? Oh, I listen to this guy, Al Silva. He always tell me to be legendary. So I am. And then they'd be like, oh, that's sick. Let me get one of those shirts too. And I said $15. I
guess that's a good way to feel good about yourself. I mean, like, really.
Don't you want to be legendary? Everybody does, right?
Yeah,
I'm
man.
legendary. And the reason why they're all priced at $16.51 is because I was trying to make $5 per shirt, and so it was I think it was like $16.50 to make $5 flat. And my old address at my the house I grew up in Detroit was $16.51. So I was like, dude, throw the penny on there. Throw the penny on there. So I make $5.01 per shirt.
It's a little bit of lore.
Or what about the Pixel L? The Pixel T. That looks cool. You'd be like, I don't even know this guy, but it looks cool. He's like a pixel. He's like a pixel dude. And then for my father, if you want to support his slogan here, the Trust No One Fuck Everyone shirt from the Almighty Sir.
The most ironic thing I just realized about all of this, your dad, like everybody's their pixel forms except the one that looks kind of like me as a real guy.
Well, I'm waiting. So you know how I did this quote for my dad?
Right.
I'm going to do the same thing for Jason. I told him, give me a quote.
Does your dad has actually those tattoos on the arms?
Yeah, that looks just like him.
So he has
He has the crown skeleton there. He has the skeleton shooting himself on top of the crumbled world. You can't see what kind of flag it is. I had to censor it. But yeah, that's just like him. And then yes, there's the I'm Legendary hoodies, and we also have the Epic Media Production hoodie as well. And then whenever you have a baby, and you want the baby to be like, I'm legendary, I'm a little baby. There you go. I'm a legendary baby.
Are we going to
Junior.
make legendary babies?
There you go. And then I was thinking about making one, like, you know how people buy baby clothes to talk about themselves? Like my mom is, my dad is, whatever. I was going to make the same thing, but it's like my mom is legendary, or my dad is legendary, or my parents are legendary. So that way, because that's mostly what people buy the baby clothes, because they're like, oh, look at me, I'm a parent. Fine. But what's cool about this Fourth Wall website is now it'll have our YouTube. Like, I didn't do this. It's synchronized with YouTube. So as soon as we put out an episode of anything, it now is synchronized to the site. And we're going to start memberships, because YouTube, we can't unlock memberships until we get at least 500 subbies with 3,000 watch hours. But now I can start it here, and then I can put members-only content. So, yeah, I mean, we call this Backstage, but, like, we'll get the backstage. We'll get the super backstage. You know how we always talk about that, where, like, it's like the pregame before the game? That's the pre-game. And plus, like, there's, like, certain things where we're thinking about doing, like, watching something. Well, this isn't YouTube.
Yeah.
So we can do anything on here. We could watch copyrighted content straight up and just upload it here for people that are members. I haven't decided what the different tiers get. To me, it's just what you're able to afford. But I'd get it if you're like, well, I'm putting in $15. What do I get special versus the $5 person? I don't know. It does allow you to lock certain merch under tiers. So then I was thinking, oh, well, the merch then should have been like, I'm awesome. And you only get that if you pay $5. I'm epic if you pay $10, and I'm legendary if you're 15. But in the beginning, as an introductory rate for the people that are first joining, everybody can be legendary. And then maybe at some point I lock it behind the paywall. I'm like, $15 if you want to be legendary.
The first ones have to have something special about them.
Yeah.
So that even when you get legendary tier and buy the legendary shirt, it doesn't have that one detail.
Yeah, OG shirts. Like, these are the first editions. Maybe I'll redo them, and I'll just put, like, a little first edition logo. And then at some point, then I can... Or maybe these are the normal ones, and then when I put the I'm Legendary for the actual tier, there's some sort of seal. Where it's like, oh, you got the one with the seal? Oh, you pay $15 a month? That's awesome. You're so much richer than I. You know? Something like that. So, yes, go buy merch. The link's in the description below. So that's it. We're official. We're legit. Thank you so much for supporting us. We appreciate it. All right, now let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes. We're going to Insano World. Boom. All right, and the one thing I do notice, because I can hear it in my head, it's like I'm getting like way too close to this mic, and every plosive I do is like...
Yeah,
Sorry, people. I told you these are
pop filter.
This is not why I wanted to use these mics. They're too powerful, but they sound good. I know they sound crispy because it sounded pretty crispy in my head. I wanted to show you guys this first before we get into the real main story here. This is nuts. I don't know if you heard about this, Jason.
I'm about to.
Actually, I want to do this. Oh, well, never mind. There was one that had the cool X-Files song in the background, but whatever. There was a mysterious blue spiral that was going across the sky in, this was over Britain and Sweden. Okay? Spiral. And everybody's like, look at this spiral. This is nuts. It's crazy. And then somebody was like, oh, well, it's just SpaceX doing something. Oh, yeah. Probably just SpaceX. Could be a little crazier. I think sometimes it's like they just have a quick explanation, especially after the drones thing. They're like, oh, it's just drones. It's like, really? Really?
Well, they already have an explanation for this.
Yeah. They said it's SpaceX. They said it was SpaceX rocket and the when it deconstructed something, blah, blah. I don't know. It sounded like baloney.
Made stuff.
Yeah, it sounded like baloney to me. Honestly, I thought it was pretty nuts, and everybody was nonchalant about it.
If it would be nature, like nature itself, like something from universe, it would be really damn cool.
Well, it would be crazy if it was like, oh, there's just some crazy black hole that just opened up, like, not light years away, like a couple thousand miles away. They're like, oh, no, it's right there.
They already have tons of, like, black holes that I forget what they're called, but they're twins.
Oh, because the black holes spin around each other.
Yeah,
and they're like
if you had a supernova, that's what it would look like between one of those twins.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what, because it'd be like,
we don't want to see this, actually.
It would be sucking the light.
Yeah.
In both directions.
And both the black holes are like, bro, I'm going to get you.
Yeah.
So we would be like, this is so cool, but in another second we would be like, gone.
Everybody dies. Yeah, that's how it works. But that's the precursor. That's the taste, because this is the nuttiest thing, and there's no explanations for it yet because there's more work to do. I'm gonna let Joe Rogan do. It's like, yes, you're watching a show. It's showception. Deal with it, people. I search for like the best videos for it, and this one's a 4-minute version, so it's very condensed, gets right to the point. And plus, like, maybe somebody will search Joe Rogan and will come up. So, sorry, this is for the algorithm. So, they discovered something underneath the Great Pyramids. They did it through a LiDAR scanner from space, and they're like, let's look under these pyramids. And they found the craziest crap that there is no explanation for. Because,
LiDAR scanner.
Yeah, because they were like, they got to get down there. They actually say specifically what it is. It's like a 5-word long scanner, okay? But the one guy's like, oh, LiDAR. But you know how they always say, oh, the pyramids, the slaves, they just pulled the stones. And it's like, bro, these are 20-ton stones perfectly. It's like, come on. With the thing that's under these pyramids, there is no explaining that. There's no like, well, the slaves dug under the thing for 2 kilometers. It's like, no, they didn't. Stop it. There's no way. So let's take a look at what's underneath the pyramids now.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Talking of pyramids, dude, this new pyramid shit that's just come out.
Oh, this is insane. Yeah, I was going to send this to you as well, Jamie. I'll send you one of the most comprehensive breakdowns of it on X because it's quite stunning. So apparently, through the use of LiDAR, they have discovered that there are enormous structures underneath the Great Pyramid that go kilometers deep into the earth with coils. So enormous pillars, and then these coils. They don't understand what it is because they're just looking at LiDAR images. But whatever this is a uniform structure. There's several pillars. And all of this is like very, very, very weird.
Yeah, it's 600 meters descending down those cylinders, and then there's more stuff below it,
meters?
and then there's additional structures inside of it. Yeah, that was crazy.
It's really crazy. There's a guy, Jay Anderson, and he did a breakdown of it. Maybe this would be good. We could play this.
Wait, so it's 600 meters or kilometers?
It makes a little more
Because 600 isn't not even 1 kilometer.
Oh yeah, I mean we need.
Yeah, no.
an expert here,
It's not 600 kilometers. That'd be 300 miles.
Nonsense.
Already?
Yes. According to Graham Hancock. This is the one.
He gets the actual scientist to get on and explain it. This is just like us. We're like, we're experts, and then we get the expert to come on and like, all right, tell us about it. This is an actual researcher.
Wow.
Significant of a discovery this is.
Dun dun dun. I love the music. And geometry, so you know it's
We're
real.
watching him watch it.
dramatic.
Watcha.
Project Unity.
Yes, this is how it works. Yes, there's faces on faces in the content.
In relation to the pyramids
Deal with
at
it.
the Giza Plateau, and the plateau itself is so incredible, so awe-inspiring, and narrative shattering that I have been sitting here for the last hour trying to wrap my head around the implications of what we were just told. So this is pretty much breaking news because
you guys
the
heard
new
of this in the
findings were
chat?
announced on the 16th of March at a press conference held by the team who was studying the Great Pyramid of Giza with a non-invasive technology that was first developed by
that's what it
Filippo
was,
Bionde
Jason.
and Corrado Malanga, called synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomography.
Fuck, that's a
That.
mouthful.
Used to
Joe
explore
Rogan's
the
like,
entire
LiDAR?
structure of the Great Pyramid
It's like,
of Giza.
okay,
And this method leverages
you got
the
it.
analysis of micro movements typically generated by background seismic activity to achieve a high resolution full 3D tomographic imagery.
Do you see how much bigger
of
their
the pyramid's
faces are
interior
to the
and
content?
subsurface
We're respectful of you
components?
people.
The
We just
recent
make little
findings
faces.
from deploying
Joe
this
Rogan's like, let's take up like a quarter
are
of the
nothing
screen.
short of mind-blowing, because what's been
What an ego.
discovered is that there are huge
Everybody's gonna
structures
love watching me chew
coming
gum.
down
Look, there it
close
is.
to the pyramid, deep into
These
the bedrock.
giant
In fact,
spiral
over 600
pillars.
What the
meters
hell?
deep,
600
which then
meters deep.
connects to structures that extend up to 2 kilometers below the surface of the ground. 2 kilometers.
So
Massive
600
internal
meters until they
structures
get to these
connected the
structures,
base
and these
of the
structures
pyramid
go
and extending
2
deep,
kilometers down.
Deep down. This
There ain't
is
no
what we
slaves
know
building these
so
things.
far.
What does your friend think?
Or at
about
least
it?
no human slaves.
Which friend?
The
Could
one
be
that
alien
says
slaves.
It's bullshit.
Oh, that's not my friend. That's Zawi Hawass.
Okay.
He's like, he's not
Hawass
my
is
friend,
the
just so you know.
head of antiquities in Egypt. He's like the head guy that talks to the archaeologists and gives the official narrative. In the past, he's been extremely hostile to Graham Hancock, but Graham Hancock and him have now become friends.
Oh, yes. I
And
do
they're
know this guy.
coordinating. Graham is a lovely guy. The people that like are enemies with him
can
just
hear
need
this
to get
board,
to know
too.
him and hang out with him. He's a genuine, real human being who's trying to find the truth.
Yes. So anyway, let me pull up a picture so we can really dive into this a little bit here, because this is honestly nuts. I heard about this story the second it came out, and I was thinking about my dad, because my dad's always been just fascinated by these pyramids, and me too, because I think they're just absolutely nuts here. We're gonna go pillars under pyramids here. Boom. That's what I used for the thumbnail too. So let's go. No. I didn't mean the video. I'm sorry.
This is a bit.
No, that guy looks weird. That is not a real dude.
That
is not
he has
real.
The same,
Is he AI?
like his
That's his
mustache
shades,
looks
Al.
like his mustache looked like his
He looks like he got bug eyes. He looks like he got like
look. You can put
He
his
is fake.
eyebrows under his nose, and it would be still the same.
That's a fake human. Yeah, that
Nice.
and his eyebrows are nuts. Yeah, that's crazy. So anyway, look at this here, okay? And so there's all sorts of theories, because obviously nobody has any idea what the hell it is, and they need to actually dig in there to obviously physically see it versus with, crazy 5-word technology that I don't remember exactly what it was. And but the thing is, they're like, all right, well, what is it? Why would they do these things? And the prevalent theory is it's almost like the pyramids would be an emission of some sort of energy source, right? So the energy source is the ground, the earth, the whatever, natural energy. And it comes up through the ground, and then at the pyramid, that's where it disperses around them. So you know how we're always trying to do like wireless power? We're thinking about like, oh, we can do room-wide. Well, they're thinking something like that, where it's like the pyramids powered the things around it.
What if it was just like the cheesiest thing in the world? Like, in Egypt, they used like copper batteries, but in jars.
Yeah.
What if it was for
It's a giant
remaining,
version.
like if there will be earthquake?
Like
This is like safety,
Support?
safetiness, instead of like getting the pyramid being destroyed by the earthquake. What if this was supposed to be like a support? If
You're thinking
it's
like
moving?
springs, like a spring
Yeah.
mattress or something. It's
giant-
like,
Because
oh,
you
save
can
these
see
pyramids.
that those pyramids remained everything, like from the Egypt. This is the only thing
Yeah.
which remained.
Well, this is the thing. All right, let's say it's, first of all, let's say it's the springs. Why are the pyramids so important that they had to build 2.5 kilometer
Because of
pillars. They're like, oh, these pyramids.
because of those kings.
Because
Like,
the slaves worked real hard on those.
Because of what? Because this is the thing. Everybody always says, oh, they're for tombs. You know they haven't found a single body in any of the pyramids?
what? They
They never found a... That's one of those... what do they call that?
Not in the pyramid, underneath it.
No, I'm saying
Even
there's
in the
no... They
catacombs.
have not found any bodies in there. But they always say, oh, these are the tombs of the pharaohs.
But they weren't supposed to
What
be
is it
found.
called? A Mandela effect or something?
Well, they did find the bodies, like
Yeah.
Tutankhamun or whatever
Oh,
his
you mean
name
like
is.
the slaves' bodies, or
no kings,
The
nothing. They
kings
never
were
found
not
no
buried
bodies
there.
in there. They found their bodies somewhere else.
In like family tombs.
Yeah. So they're like...
so for what the?
But that's the
Exactly.
thing. And Joe Rogan, you know how he was saying, oh, this guy I'm not friends with? That guy he's not friends with is like the main archaeologist of the pyramids, right? And so I remember watching a video from that guy, and he's like, oh, these were built by the humans. These are built by Egyptians, and blah, blah. Like, he's
what
acting like
they
it's normal.
found
It's like,
in it,
bro, no,
though?
it's not.
Like-
But he's a cover-up.
What
You get what I'm
was
saying?
in those pyramids then? If no bodies, like was
Oh,
there like
the structures themselves and how
Just the
cool they are,
structures?
and the hieroglyphs, and like the actual design, and the rooms, and the secret rooms, and the chambers. Like, it's had all
what if
that stuff.
this is supposed to be built for the spirit of the king? You know,
Oh, maybe that's what
like
I'm saying.
this
Like,
should be the palace.
that's
for
where
his
he
spirit.
lives.
Yeah,
And he's like walking around. He's like, oh, I got to go to the
Yeah.
bathroom. He has to go down a
Yeah.
chamber, go down something. But this is the thing.
600.
600 feet down below.
you need to hold the pee for really.
There's
really
no way. There's no way any human being was building. Like, all right, you might be able to get away with the pyramids. You might be like, oh, well, they had, levers and pulleys before they were discovered because they're an ancient species or whatever that got wiped away. Sure. Okay, fine. How did they get those pillars down there? How did they get them down there?
Same as they built.
You get what I'm saying?
the
Because
pyramid, we don't know.
think about how we dig stuff now. You know what I mean? How we bore into the ground to get oil in the technology we have, and we're like, oh, we got to get the oil and stuff like that. We're like rudimentary crude about it.
But to be honest,
This
they
was
were
4,000 years ago.
really smart. as
What kind of
the-
coils are these?
I don't know.
They don't have like, they're made out of
But
blank
their
and blank.
geometry was.
They just know this is what they
their
can see.
geometry was like on a higher level than today's. Some
Yeah.
points.
That's why they
Yeah.
say it's also not possible to be human because of the tools it would take to do that. What if they were just drilling for oil, man, but like they didn't have drills? That's not. What if they're not coils? They're
But they're not
Were they
they're not
using
small
oil?
pillars. You know what I mean? Like you
No,
can
no,
see
the-
like relative to the
Yeah, they are
pyramid,
really
these
big.
are like, because the pyramids are
I'm talking
They're-
about the coils though. The coils aren't that big. Like if they just dug all that stuff out and they're like, well, we don't want this stuff collapsing, so we got to
Yeah.
leave some support. And they're like, how do we pump all this stuff out? Well, if we put it through the oil and push enough air through, the oil comes up.
Now, was that the humans or the aliens?
Both.
The aliens gave the humans the technology to do it?
But in
Maybe.
the old Egypt, they found so many rocks from the universe, from the like,
Space?
from the space, yeah.
Yeah.
Like moon rocks and stuff,
yeah,
you're saying. Yeah.
yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah.
They made a tools out of them, actually.
Interesting. See? It seems pretty, I don't know, like when I see the pyramids and I get like any of the information, like I was watching a video where it's like, oh, the circumference of the pyramids is 360.2 but whatever it is, and it's basically the exact length of a year for the solar system, because it's not 365 for the length of our year going around the earth around the sun. It's like point bump. That's why we have leap years, because it's not an exact science, but the pyramid is the exact circumference of the rotation of the earth around the sun to the fifth decimal or something like that. It's like nuts
What
when
does
you think
the
about these
power
things.
plant mean? So your dad is saying the pyramid is a
Power plant. See, that's what we were talking about in the beginning, where it's like this is the most prevalent theory is these were either emitting power or storing power, right? Like maybe they were gathering the power and then it put it down to the ground, and then those could be like essentially think of lithium-ion batteries, right?
Right.
They're storing the power so that way they can use them for their crazy ancient technology that, they all had hoverboards and they all had like flying cars, all the crazy stuff that we don't have now.
Really cool that
Yeah.
they use the mirrors as a lightning in those pyramids.
Mirrors.
Yeah,
Lighting.
they had like one window
Oh yeah, and then
And
you
they were
you could bounce it.
bouncing light from.
They might end up, maybe like that's just what's left over, but like when the pyramids were all active, it was probably everything was glowing. You know, it's all like they didn't even need light because like all the walls would glow. Maybe they walked in and they just went like boom, and then whatever you
Like
wanted
the clap
glowed.
on.
Yeah,
Clap on.
boom.
You think the pyramids were giant clap on lights?
Yeah, for the whole country though.
Yeah, but
they're like,
some
Has
slave-
anybody tried
some slave
clapping
by-
in there?
no, they're probably banned from it.
But if you clap, the slave must hear it and open the window curtain.
Oh God. Yeah, maybe.
My dad said no bodies and no writings. No right, but I think there's the hieroglyphs are their
Yeah, but
version.
he means like
Scribes.
storytelling.
Yeah.
Like nobody was journaling that.
Yeah, which is nuts. I mean, there's too much to know. So like that would be my first like if I had to do like an adventure thing, like for some reason it's like, oh well, let's go on an adventure, let's go crazy, let's go to the pyramids. That's where we got to go. We got to go to the pyramids. We got to figure this out. We will discover it ourselves. Al and Jay on the prowl. We're going to get to the bottom of these pyramids.
Can we at least bring a drill? Because I don't want to do cave diving.
They will
That
not let you
shit's
do none of
scary.
that stuff. They'll ban you.
diving,
They
then?
won't let you bring a drill,
They won't let you
a
even
spoon.
touch-
Spoon?
No.
They won't even let you.
You
to
can't touch the
part.
walls. You
Yeah,
can't touch
yeah,
nothing.
They won't let you.
You gotta
Then how
look
the hell are we gonna get down there?
with our eyes. Yeah.
Röntgen.
I can't bring a.
You don't have the LiDAR in your eyes?
I can't bring a spoon, but I can bring X-ray mods with my
Yeah.
eyeballs.
Yeah. Technically, yes, because you wouldn't be touching it. You would just be,
I guess.
an X-ray.
So if it's lidar, we should just bring a flashlight.
Yeah. Or your iPhone. Your iPhone has a LiDAR. Don't you got the one with the
yeah, I
fancy?
do.
I don't. I have an
Yeah,
SE.
don't
I'm
pull
poor.
out your
but
iPhone in Egypt. They will steal it immediately. From
It
you.
they'll
just
steal. Oh, what are you saying about Egyptians? They're all dirty thieves. Oh no! Oh no! We're getting banned in Egypt now. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
so much for our discoveries.
Oh man! For our 3 Egyptian viewers, we're sorry. Anyway, so yeah, no, I think that's really cool, interesting. So that just came out. So we're gonna get more information as time goes on. But the problem is the Egyptian government obviously doesn't want people digging around and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. So they are limited by what the Egyptians will
It was
let
a
us
weather
do.
balloon.
So we're gonna see more of that hopefully soon. More boop 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 boop. There we go. All right. So those were my 2 main ones. I'm trying to make this a short show, and I realized, how do I make it a short show? Don't have as much content lined up. Duh. Big brain. Big brain. Normally I have like 8 things for Insano World lined up, and I'm like, blah, 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 blah. No, I had 2. Spiral in the Sky, Aliens Built the Pyramids, in and out, clean and easy. Let's go to the next segment
Read what
here.
your dad said there.
Yeah, no writings inside. Every other structure in Egypt has writings. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no vandalism inside, but it's already like.
Yeah, maybe they stole them, honestly. Next one here.
Let's take a look inside.
All right, boop, boop, boop. All right, you know how it is, people, and if you're new to the show, this is where we play the game to get to know us, and we're going to get to know you as well. We're going to start with level 1, which is the light questions. We should get sponsored by this company. It's called Let's Get Deep BFF Edition. Sponsor us. I know this only costed $5, but if you gave me $5, I'd be like, this segment's brought to you by Let's Get Deep BFF Edition. Buy yours today at $5 below. It's only $5.
$5 per deck of cards we do.
Per every episode. Yeah, every episode they give us $5.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
$5 a week is 250 something bucks. 52 times 5, whatever it is. That's a lot of money.
Just take it up front.
Boom. We'll take it up front. That's right, a yearly payment.
Yep.
We're shuffling. Heart of the cards. Draw 1. All right, here we go. Jason, we're going to start with this one. And remember, in the chat, you're supposed to answer as well. And I'll read your answers on live on video. What's the best thing about being your age? Everyone in the chat, we have various ages in the chat too. What's the best thing about being your age? So Jason, as far as what you've discovered so far, being in your mid to late 30s, mid-late. You're not mid is because now you're kind of reaching that. What are you, 37?
37.
37. So what's the best thing about being 37,
What's
Jason?
the best thing about being old?
Yeah, but not quite old. Like middle old.
Yeah, no, it's going to sound like the same thing every 60-year-old would say, and that's, I've already made a lot of mistakes. I'm good now.
Oh, because you've learned finally.
Yeah, I'm better at not doing that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Wisdom, I think they call it.
What's funny is, like, I forgot, because I had a pregame rant, but then I was like, I'm not going to say it now because Carolina did something earlier, and I was like, oh, I don't want to be that guy. But anyway, today is technically April 1st, right? And so what you'd be thinking, like, well, how does Al feel about April Fool's Day? I think, I won't get too spicy, but I think it's the dumbest thing in this world, okay? I don't like when it's like you read a news article or something, right? And it's like, oh, I wrote, Warren Buffett bought Tesla in cash. And it's like, why would he do that? That's crazy. And then you read it, and then it's like April Fool's, and you're like, oh, you just wasted my time. Like, why would you do that? And you can't believe anything. And then it's like people will tell you things, and it's like, oh, April Fool's. And it's like, oh, I just want to choke you, And so I get home, and Carolina's like, hey, me and Jason, we need you to, can you go with us tomorrow? And I was like, for what? She's like, we're getting married. And I was like, and honestly, he's talking about making mistakes. I'm just like, at this point, nothing shocks me anymore. I'm just like, man, he just won't stop. It's like crazy. And I was like, all right, well, not tomorrow, though. Like maybe Thursday or something, whatever.
I say we are going tomorrow, and he say like, no, you're not.
At this point, I'm like, there's nothing Jason can do that could shock me. I just like, yeah, okay, Jason, if that's what he wants, I guess then we'll just go with it
but
here.
It was just April Fool's.
But see, it was an April Fool's because yes, that's right. He's like, I'm learning. Do you see me? Big brain here. Carolina, what about you? What's the best thing about being your age?
25.
Okay.
So the best thing about it is still I can just walk as much miles as I want to, and still nothing hurts,
Oh, okay. Joints and muscles and stuff like that.
Falling apart yet.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I remember, man, prime 25.
Yeah.
Cranking stuff out, doing all. Even though I was like honestly kind of chunky at 25,
I
but
work on
the joints
on
and
coffee.
stuff.
I don't have to sleep actually, and I still kind of like
Yeah.
That's gonna catch up with you.
Yeah, I know, but now I can just enjoy it,
Yeah. There you go.
How
That's
about
pretty
you?
good. I'm the same age as Jason, slightly younger, because I haven't turned 37 yet. Even though I do turn 37 this year, so I'm 36.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'd say the best thing about being my age is I feel like I still have the energy, at least in my brain, as the 20s, but like similar to Jason, it's like, but now I have all this experience, I have all this knowledge, and so like I feel like I can do more now.
Yeah, it's like being a Super Saiyan.
Yeah, it's like, I can do, I don't know, like you see what I'm doing here with the production and then making music and this and that. Like, I couldn't do that stuff when I was in the early 20s. I barely could play the guitar. Like, there's a bunch of stuff where it's like I needed to learn. So I don't feel old yet, especially in my brain. In my brain, I'm like, honestly, if you asked me, like, what's your age and you didn't give me much time to think, so it had to be, like, off the cuff, I would have said, like, 26. I feel like 26, maybe 27 at most in my brain. That's how it was. What's funny is like 5 years ago, I really felt like I was like 20. I was like, oh yeah, I'm 31, but man, I feel like I'm 21. Like I felt good. And now I'm like, okay, yeah, I feel about 27. I feel about 27. Still prime, still good. I got, a lot of energy. I think obviously I'm supplemented by the coffee. You guys know how much I love my coffee, but as far as the aches and pains and stuff, I have just as many aches and pains as I had back in the day. I think I've always had bad joints and stuff.
Yeah, we were working pretty hard then.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we were working really hard. So it's like I've always had body issues, but now I'm a little lighter too, which is pretty cool. My dad said the best thing about being his age is getting to laugh at fat guys half his age. Because then they go, oh, why are you fat? And they're like, oh, I'm fat because I'm old. And then he's like, I'm the same age as you.
Not an excuse.
And I'm not fat.
That's not an excuse.
That makes sense, and I agree. All right, we're going to go to the next question because no one else answered, but that's okay. Next one, light number 2. All right, here we go. Tell everyone, and that's literally everyone in the internet world, tell everyone a new fact you learned today. Did you learn a new fact today? And if you didn't learn it today and it was yesterday, I will let that slide. What is a new fact that you just recently learned?
A new fact that I recently learned.
Yeah. And while you're thinking about this, I'm a because I had this article lined up, and I was like, it doesn't fit in anything, so I wasn't going to bring it up for time and efficiency. But I'm gonna let you guys think here for a second. It was how Microsoft, I think it was Microsoft, they interview, and one of the questions that they ask is, tell me something you've learned in the last week. And if people are like, oh, nothing, I don't know, they go, write them off. They're like gone, because they want people that are always either seeking to learn, or they're not seeking to learn, but they know, they're aware of things that they're like, oh, I just recently figured out, and it can be anything. It'd be like, I just recently had a talk with my kid about this thing happened at school, and so like I just learned that situation or whatever. So it's anything. They're looking for people that are constantly learning. And I said, dang, that's a good interview question. Tell me something you learned in the last week. And if you're like nothing, you'd be like, hang on now, you learned something. Or you really didn't learn nothing, and you're like,
yeah, I think
you're a potato.
Like figuring out what the specific thing is more difficult than actually having learned something.
Yeah.
I guess mine would be, I did not know that cinnamon was good for plants.
Cinnamon's good for plants?
Well, not specifically for the plants, but it's good for the soil, so it doesn't, like, mold, or, like, insects don't like it.
Oh, nice.
All kinds of good benefits.
Okay, there we go. And now you guys can write that down, too. You just learned something, because Jason just taught you. That's really good. What, Carol? What about you?
I found out that USA just don't have normal coffee without milk and sugar, like creamer and sugar, around this area where you can just...
You could just drink black coffee if
Yeah,
you're like, oh, man, I don't want any, like,
black
I don't know.
Coffee. I want it.
Life in my life, you know
Walmart,
what I mean? I don't know.
Like, in Walmart, you can't buy an espresso without sugar, without milk, anything. Yeah. You can't go around the area here in some
You
kind
could have went to Tim Hortons, but like, let me get it straight.
Around the Walmart.
Around the Walmart? There's a Starbucks?
Yeah, Starbucks,
Starbucks.
But that's so expensive for coffee. So I'm like, no, I'm not like, I'm not some kind of a fancy,
Yeah. Yeah.
And around the area, I was just trying to find out if there's some kind of a like dark coffee without sugar, without creamer, because I'm falling asleep with the coffee here.
Oh man, yeah, you need super strong.
Yeah,
you need something crazy.
I'm having really low blood pressure, so for me it's like some kind of a surviving thing,
Oh, okay, okay.
But here, I'm just falling asleep.
You know where we got to take you? We got to take you to, like, because right now we're in I don't even know what we would call this. It's like a suburb or whatever. But we got to take you to like what do they call it? Like a hipster kind of place, like Ann Arbor, right? And they have like all sorts of coffee shop, boutique stuff, Canton, Plymouth, something like that, where it's like a bunch of things where they're mom and pop coffee shops. And they'll have some weird stuff for you.
Like for today, I was having so low blood pressure that I couldn't get up from the bed at all.
Oh, that's not good.
I couldn't. I were just lying down. I was on the bed and my head was spinning, Yeah. I just need the coffee to survive.
What couldn't you couldn't the Walmart, the Great Value didn't give you a Great Value?
No.
Oh, Walmart. Great Value.
He's gonna turn around on me. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Jason's like, I didn't make it.
Make it?
Tabitha said, just as a shout out, her stepdad Dylan. You guys know Dylan, the lead guitarist, the Epic Cheese. From Epic Disappointments. He is starting his new job next week. He has been laid off for 7 months. 7 months he's been laid off. He's been doing like odd jobs here and there, selling stuff on Etsy. He's been selling a lot of his gear, just like whatever he could do to make money, which is pretty cool. And so now he's going to start his new job, which is pretty awesome. So we're looking forward to Dylan doing that, which is pretty sweet. I know he's happy. We're excited for him as well. Congratulations, Dylan. We're going to move on to big questions. All right, Jason. If you could turn the ocean...
Wait, what did you learn today? What were your answer?
Oh, man, today in particular?
Or just around this time?
I'm trying to think. Like, today was honestly a giant blur for certain things, so I'd have to say in general. But because in this last week, I learned a lot about setting up, like, the business account, setting up the website domain, like, doing things, like, really legit. Honestly, there's a saying, and it's 100% true. It takes money to make money. Everything that I need to do, it's like, take money, Oh, and I forgot to say in the pregame here, we did register a URL. If you go there right now, it just has, like, a coming soon thing, but it's epicmediahq.com. So I bought it because that was the one Jason picked, and I was like, oh, I like that pick. That's pretty cool. epicmediahq.com. So I'm still learning all this back end business stuff, and I'm like trying to keep the receipts for everything. I want to have everything organized. So that's a giant learning experience that I'll constantly do. And I'm like scared to death. You know, that's how they got Al Capone, was like taxes. Not that I'm a mobster, but it's like I really don't want to owe the government nothing, and I don't want them to take nothing from me. So it's like I want to do everything so legit, which would be pretty sweet here. So that's what I learned this week. All right. So Jason, if you could turn the ocean into any different liquid, what would it be?
Any different
And it doesn't
liquid.
say and why, but realistically, why? Like, you could turn the ocean into anything that was liquid. What are you turning it into?
I have an answer.
I'd have to say coffee now, because like I mean I have the Diet Coke,
That Great Value coffee, too.
but I don't genuinely drink as much Diet Coke as I used to.
Yeah.
It's like coffee, morning,
Yeah.
night, all the time.
That's true. Okay, coffee would be pretty good. I like that answer. Carol, what about you?
Non-salty water.
Non-salty water.
So it can just,
Oh, so people can drink it.
people can drink it. The
Yeah.
word don't get dry and like deserts and stuff like that. Just
Oh, yeah.
every animal can have the opportunity to have enough water.
Yeah. See,
Except for the ones that live in the salty
in the
water.
salt, they die.
Yeah,
So you want to sacrifice them for the greater good.
Yeah, I get that. But like you could just say the world became like the world evolved with non-salty water. So
Yeah.
the fishes get used to the non-salty water.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't-
So
Oh,
they
you're
would-
saying you would have to rewrite history and time so it
Yeah,
was
the
always
evolving.
non-salty.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
would
that's
be-
not how this word works. You snap your fingers and it goes unsalty, and
Oh,
all the
no,
salty
no, I
fishes are
don't-
like, I'm dying.
I don't want to kill.
Ow, ow, ow.
I don't want to kill fishes.
They're like, where's my salt?
Not just some of the fishes, like
I don't want them.
Maybe-
large.
How about
large
this? You'll
majority.
save one ocean.
With coffee,
One
you
ocean
are going
can
to
have the
kill them
salt.
too.
Oh, yeah, you
I
killed them
didn't say-
all.
I
You
didn't
killed
say
them
I
too.
You
cared.
killed every animal, dude.
Yeah.
Never said I cared about that.
Oh, yeah.
I care
that's
about
right.
it because I like fishies. I want to go to aquarium, like watch fishies.
Oh, yeah, but they'll all be coffee-flavored fishies,
Nah.
too. Like, they're like the ones that survive, because I think they'll still survive. though.
Hyped
Some of them-
fishies.
Some of them will. You know what I mean? They'll adapt, improvise, overcome.
Yeah, the
Oh,
microscopic
your dad
ones
has
on
the
bottom.
same answer as me, actually.
Yeah, so my dad said drinkable water. That's
So,
good. That's
yeah.
really good, you guys. That's
Yeah.
really good.
Oh, yeah, he said drinkable. I said
Yeah,
just-
that's the same thing. Drinkable
Oh, okay,
water.
okay.
You know what? Since you guys already said drinkable, like, I'll make something different because I don't know why. No reason for this. No reason. It was just the first thing. Because sometimes you just want to go with the first thing. It's like one of those splat ink images. It's
Yeah.
like, say the first thing on your mind. Jello.
Bullshit.
Jello.
Jello. I don't know why. Just
you can-
turn the whole ocean to Jello.
Oh, you can then walk on the Jello.
Yeah.
Actually,
And all the fish
connect,
would be like, yummy Jello.
and connect
So
all
good.
this, all the like
all the
people of the
land.
world.
land. Yeah, people around.
Yeah.
the
And they can
world.
eat. Instead of
Yeah.
drink, they eat.
It would be so easy to build bridges on the Jello.
Yeah.
Actually.
And I'd make it like, maybe the different oceans are different flavors,
but
right? Cherry,
Yeah, can you imagine
orange.
the earthquake on that going like that?
That'd be awesome. All the sharks get like jellified like immediately. They're like, can't move. I'm Jello.
Twerking whales.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Let's get that Jello ocean going. All right, big question number 2. Bloop. What's the most important thing your parents did for you? What's the most important thing your parents did? Now that should be in the bigger questions. That feels like that's a little more philosophical than they usually get here.
I mean, it's kind of a broad-based question.
Yeah, it's a broad-based
but,
question.
like,
It can be anything.
yeah, they gave me the ability to think for myself.
Oh, there you go. So that way you can be able to expand your mind. Don't put your mind in a box.
Right.
Don't do what you're told. Do what you think.
Yeah, actually question things.
Yeah.
And like, it's just giving me, like, you don't have a roadmap in life.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to improvise a little, and that requires some thinking. So there it is, pal. Thanks for that.
There you go. Very solid. Carol, what about you? What's the most important thing
Because I have just mom.
or the best thing?
The best thing she did was when she was taking care of 3 kids just with her own paycheck, and like you can imagine,
Yeah.
one was 6 years old, the other one was 8 years old, and the
Yeah.
third one was 15. And actually my sister left, and the thing is, she never gave up on us. She was always there, and what she did for us, like,
Yeah.
she sacrificed her youth, her life for taking care of us, and never regret anything.
There you go. Very nice. Good job, Mom. I'd say my parents, two distinctly different things that are exact opposites. I feel like, obviously now that I'm a grown adult as a parent with my own kids, I'd say the most important thing my dad did for me was the discipline and structure necessary to make sure that I knew right from wrong, good from bad, things like that. And then my mom, it would have been the opposite. And it would be like the freedom that I got to be able to explore or do certain things that I just wouldn't do at my dad's house. You know what I mean? It's like listen certain music I wouldn't listen to or whatever it was. And it just felt like I got to discover myself a little bit more with my mom. But if I just had one or the other completely solely, I don't know if that would have made me who I am. You know what I mean? If I only had the rigid structure without any sort of individualism in that, the freedom to, do certain things, then, you know what I mean? I'd be a different person. But if I only had the willy-nilly, no structure, no discipline, I'd probably be in prison. It's a big difference. So I'm glad I had both of those aspects because I think that's really important. And my dad, he has and I told him I really, really need this. He has rules for life, like his rules that he's discovered along the way. And like the one rule that's on the t-shirt, which trust no one, fuck everyone. I believe that's I'd like to say it's rule number 1. Because there's rule 0, which is you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Because rule number 1 is like, well, trust no one, fuck everyone. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And he's going to be like, that's not rule 1, that's rule 2. I don't remember the order, but that's why I asked him. I'm like, I want specifically rule 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that way it's like set in stone. So he's building that for me, which is really cool. Because he does have a lot of really good ones. And then there's some that are like way too spicy. He's like, they'll be on the back side of the sheet. Like when you have a picture
B-side.
And you see the picture and you're like, oh, there's nothing behind there. But then you flip it. It's like the Declaration of Independence. You flip it over and it has like how the aliens wrote America or something. It's going to be like that.
Wait, what was the question actually? I think I misunderstood.
What's the most important thing your parents did for you?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tabitha said the most important thing that her parents did for her was taking to her doctor's appointments and taking very good care of me. That's awesome. Yes. Thank you for doing that for Tabitha. Fantastic. And my dad said, taught me how fucked up this world is and to be strong when facing shit comes at you with. That's true. That's really awesome. Thank you, Grandpa. Very nice. All right, great answers. We're going on to the bigger. It should be biggest. Because, there's not, you would think there's finality in it. But
where is supposed to
you have to buy
snow?
the DLC for that.
Tabitha is saying that it's supposed to snow. Where?
Yeah.
I'm curious because I have just a light jacket there.
Oh, well, we put that in the chat. All right, here we go. So, bigger questions. What game have you spent the most hours playing? And this is of all time. Because it doesn't say this week. It's all time. Ark. Explain what Ark is to everyone else in the history of this show that probably does not know what the
So Ark
is.
It's basically the Earth gets all effed up, right? And they send these different parts of life to these different arcs.
Mm-hmm.
The game, you go through each of these arcs representing different parts of life.
Yeah.
And it's a dinosaur game, basically, at its core, where you raise dinosaurs and then use them to complete tasks. But the crazy part about it, and the reason why I ended up spending so much time on that game, is some of those dinosaurs would take... one of them took 14 real-life days to raise one in the game. Imagine doing anything for 14 hours is like, what? That's nuts. But then also, every 4 hours you had to give this dinosaur something. It's called imprinting.
Yeah. You had to be like, hey, you're a good boy.
Yeah.
You're doing a good job.
Pat, pat.
Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, real like it's a real time game. So like, and there's other human beings in it.
Oh yeah, there's live servers.
So you have to be like always defending your territory. You don't want somebody to like take over your stuff, you know, kill all your animals, you know what I mean? Like, so it was a game that required a lot of effort. He had me play it when I broke my arm. I had like, 3 months off or whatever. So I was like, oh yeah, let me try this art game. And it was like, yeah, you got to play that like all day. You got to play it like all day, every day, especially in the beginning when you're just like punching trees to get wood. You don't even have an axe or something, so you're just punching trees so you can get wood. And,
yeah, no, you'd get upset when you died because you spent all this time getting an axe, getting a pickaxe, getting all this stuff, and like crafting all this stuff, and then you had to get like better stuff. So if you died out there, it was gone.
It's like a real live game, you know what I mean? Like when you die, you don't get the, except for like you could like, oh, if I found where exactly I died, there'd be like the bag with your goodies, so you can find your dead body and you can get it. But a lot of effort. I was like, bro, I told her, I was like, I gotta step away. Like it was like a whole month. I was like, what happened? Where am I? I spent a whole month on this game. It was nuts. Absolutely nuts. Carol, what about you? What's the game you played the most?
Whiteout Survival, which is like a game on a phone. And I met Jason in the game, and I'm playing it since December.
It's called Whiteout?
Whiteout Survival.
And it's like with the erasing words, like whiteout. Like,
Whiteout.
No.
It's together.
Like a snowstorm.
Oh, okay. And you're snowboarding in this game?
No. You are having your own city, your troops. You're taking care of the city. You are trying to protect your troops. You're having their events, dailies, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, I played it since December 2023 already, and every single day I'm doing those dailies, and Jason too. That's the game
She's been doing my dailies lately.
That's the game we met each other, and it's just like we have those cities standing next to each other since we are together, so...
Oh, okay. So he can like just sneak over and steal all your stuff. Like
he can't. Even though he could, if he would attack me, he still have a stronger march than me.
Oh, okay.
But I'm stronger there, genuinely, than him.
She's got a higher number on her power, but my force is a force to be reckoned with.
More, it's quality versus quantity.
Oh,
yeah.
Very nice. Strategy game sort of thing.
Yeah.
On there. Okay, very cool. I'd say the game where I know I was like, all right, for sure I've spent all this time, I was thinking it would have to be Halo 2.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was like my entire high school. You know what I mean? It was like 9th, 10th, or whatever we started playing it. Because I don't know if it was 9th grade, but it was like 10th grade maybe. 10th, 11th, 12th. Entry into college too, because it was like Halo 3 came out. I would just say Halo in a combination of 2 and 3. But it was like all I played versus like... As I started to go older and then have more work to do, it's like I would still play games, but it wouldn't be like as intense. The most recent thing that I played like a lot of time was Apex. That was a couple years ago. And I spent every day we were playing Apex at the time until I got these things. I can't remember what they're called. Oh, heirlooms. And it was like your character got this special item. So when you came across somebody else in the game, they're like, oh, bro, this guy's legit. He got the heirlooms. And I was like, yeah, I got these heirlooms because I spent like so much time in that game. So people were like, this guy's legit. How cool. But yeah, I'd say overall, Halo. My dad said Solitaire. Solitaire is a very legit game as well. I every now and then if you got like no internet connection, nothing to do, it's like every computer has Solitaire. You know, you can play it. You're like, ooh.
Play it with literal cards.
You could
Even
play it with
on
physical
an
cards if you're like old,
when
like
you
you're really
the
old.
Screen in airplane, they have Solitaire there.
Yeah, Solitaire. That's a very good one. Tabitha said the game she spent the most time playing for hours was Dragon Ball Z video games on the PlayStation 3. Are you talking about like the fighting games? Because I did play a lot of that, like Budokai, Tenkaichi.
Me and you did. We'd get some pretty heated things going on over.
Boom. Those are always sweet, and I loved those fighting games in particular because they were easy to get into. Like basically you're like button, other button versus like. You get into like Tenken or stuff like that, and it's like up, down, left, right. You gotta have some
Mortal
crazy
Kombat.
Combo to Mortal Kombat. Like you can't just be like, oh, finisher. You gotta be like.
I loved the Yu Yu Hakusho game we used to play because
That
it
was
was
sweet.
like
Dark Tournament.
You and I mean, it was basically like how embarrassing to get hit by the Dragon of the Darkness play. Like, because one person gets to brag about how epic they were, and the other person's like, oh.
Boom. man, there's a lot of good. And I didn't bring this up because I didn't have enough information, so I was gonna wait until like I get more. But just a teaser, they said word on the grapevine is they're remaking Yu Yu Hakusho. They're gonna do a remake.
show.
Yeah, they're gonna do a remake of the show. And I'm like, how are they gonna remake? First of all, is it a different
Animated
story, or it's gonna be no? Yeah, it's animated.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't know. How do you remake
Same
it?
story, graphical update.
Just completely new. I don't know. They didn't have details. They're just like word on the street is they're gonna remake Yu Yu Hakusho. So I was like, that's pretty crazy.
I would watch that 100%
for sure. And
again.
there's this anime that I know you'd be interested in because I'm interested in it, and it's an all original thing. There's no manga for it. It's just like so nobody. That's the one thing is like when there's an anime and there's a manga, there's people out there that are manga readers that love to spoil it. They're like Snape killed Dumbledore, and you're like no. You know what I mean? It's like I don't want to hear this stuff. I had to avoid all the Naruto, Demon Slayer, like all these ones. Usually I would avoid it or I would read all the manga so nobody can spoil it for me. But this one is made by the guys that made Cowboy Bebop. And they made, there's all sorts of different creators that are coming together to make this all original thing. And it's basically the premise of it is there's in this universe, this world, it's still Earth, but obviously it's this one particular universe. There's this doctor that discovers like the cure for pain. He's like, oh man, I got this pill. When you take the pill, no pains, achy joints, achy headaches, muscle, anything. You don't experience pain anymore. And so everybody's like, oh, sweet, we got to take it. So the whole world, obviously, like who doesn't want to experience pain, right? They all take it. And then like 3 years later or something like that, they discover he's like, the doctor's like, oh, turns out everybody's going to die because, there's something in the thing. You know how it always works. It's like,
the CDC
oopsie, everybody's going to die. And so now it's there. This group is put together to find and hunt down the doctor so they can get the cure for it or whatever. But it's made by the Cowboy Bebop people and they're having an all original soundtrack, all this stuff. It sounds crazy. And it's being produced by Adult Swim in collaboration with Adult Swim. So it's good. It just sounds like pure early 2000s, late 1990s anime, and that's what they're going for. They call it like a nostalgic throwback sort of like thing. So we're going to probably watch that on our membership only tier because, we can't get away with it on YouTube. So sign up now and you'll get our exclusive content. All right, let's get one more bigger thing here. All right. Well, I feel like I've read that one before. I'm going to put it back because I think it was recently because I think it's a good one, but we'll come back to it at some point in the next few months. All right, here we go. Boop, boop, draw one. Flip it a grin. Do you think crying is a good thing or a bad thing? Do you think crying...
You have to split it in two like that? I mean, like, it could be both.
It can be both. Well, just elaborate. Elaborate on it.
I mean, I think, like, if you don't go through that stuff, sometimes you just, holding on to it ain't good either.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna come out eventually.
Yeah.
Whether it's anger, sadness, whatever. Let it go.
Let it out.
Yeah.
As Mario would say.
Yeah,
let it out.
Sure.
But why'd you say it was a bad thing? I don't think you said elaborate bad thing to cry. Because crying good or bad. That sounded like a lot of positive effects. But why would it be bad?
I mean, it doesn't feel good at the time. And it's
what you're going through.
Yeah, and it's very possible to go overboard with it. There's such a thing as becoming addicted to sadness, and that's no bueno.
Interesting. Addicted to sadness sounds like a good song title. Addicted to sadness. Look out for it next year.
Heck yeah.
Carol, what do you think? Do you think crying is good or bad?
Depends on how much. Like how big crying it is, If it's like a small crying, like you need to just relax for a bit, just get it out of you,
shed a tear or two.
Yeah, it's fine. But the problem is if it gets into like breaking down yourself, you can't stop it at that moment. You're just crying to the point when you can't walk, when you can't just stay straight, you can't just do anything, it just drains you. Actually, it drains all the fluid out of your body through the tears, and then it's bad thing. So I think there is positivity on it and also negativity, so it doesn't have just one
that's true.
part.
That's true. And you know what, it's like honestly I guess if I just had to choose one, because it feels like obviously like anything else in life, what do they call it? Like in moderation, everything in moderation. So even crying, but it's like if I had to choose one, yeah, it's a good thing to be able to release your emotions. I mean, for me, we're talking about like being addicted to sadness or maybe just wallowing in it too much. Like 2023 was like really bad. So like I cried every single day in 2023. At some point, it wasn't like all day, every day. I'm like, whoa, all day. It was just like at some point in the day, I'd be like trying to get through and then something would happen. And it was just like, it would be over. It's like a cup that's already full. And then you're like, well, let me add a little more liquid. You're like, no, it's already full. Like, this is crazy. And that's how 2023 was for me. And then so 2024, I was like, all right, I'm not gonna cry a single time all year. And then my freaking hamsters died in February. And I was like trying so hard to like not give up on that goal. But at the same time, I felt like it wasn't right for
like
them to not cry. You know what I mean? It's like you know what I mean? It's like, I know they're hamsters. Somebody will be like, oh, they're hamsters. Whatever.
No,
whatever your thing is. Is it a dog?
Baby,
is it a whatever?
Like, it doesn't matter
what
what kind of animal it is. It's still your baby.
Yeah, it was like something special to me that had life in it. It had life. If I had pet, spiders, I'd be like, and they died. I'd be like, oh, bro, that was Jerry. That was Gary and all that stuff. I'd be like really upset because it had life and now it doesn't have life. And so I cried for my hamsters. And then after that, I was like, okay, all right, let's try to do better. And honestly, like, I feel like this year, or especially towards the tail end of 2020, it's like 2024 was like a jet taking off, right? And anybody that's taking an airplane, it's like, and then at some point they throw on the thrusters and you're like, so it's like, my happiness levels were like really low, and then as 2024 kept going on, I was like, and then towards the end of 2024, I was like, yeah, here we go, and now we're into 2025, and this has been a great year so far for me. There's been a couple moments that have brought tears to my eyes, but for good reason, for like good, serious, sad reason. It wasn't some willy-nilly like, oh, Miss Magoo pooped in my shoes or whatever it is, It's like, no, I had a legit reason that I was like, bro, that's sad. This is really sad. I should cry about this. But then there's been a lot of things, because I'm not wallowing in it, where it's like, I should have been really sad about that, but I wasn't. It was like, nah, that's all right. That's all right. I'll make it through. You know what I mean? Like at this point, we're like an hour and 11 minutes in, so we've lost all the normies, right? And so like, there was this girl that's like the verse 2 for Return to Level 1. And what's so funny is like, she ended up like reaching back out to me, and I was like, this is awesome, this is great, because honestly in the verse, right, I'm like, this one's even better, I think I'm in love, like this is great. And then she just like kind of faded away into nothingness until she dropped me, and then she came back, and then I'm like FaceTime with her, I'm showing her JL, man, I even told my parents about her. I was like, I think this is the one. And my dad's always talking about that verse. He's like, yeah, it's just so weird. And you're like, I know this is the one, and then you're like immediately like, oh no, because that is how this relation now twice, where it's just like everything's going great. This weekend I was like video chatting with her and talking to her, like all this stuff, and then a day later it's like, hey, I really can't do this this time, I'm gonna delete your number and like completely go away now. And I'm just like, whoa, this is, you know what I mean? It's like crazy.
It was a quick turn.
And I'm like, no, and normally if this was last year or definitely 2023, I'd be like, no, this is the one. That was the one for me. I was like, I liked everything about her. She checked off like 9. I think I actually made it like a 91% as far as my ideal the one checklist. 91 is the highest anyone's ever got.
Checklist for women?
I have a ideal
for
the one checklist where it's like,
no way.
You get what I'm saying? So like she did a 91%. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't looking for 100, but I'm like, give me the highest percent. She had the 91. I was like, this is it. This is it. I was locked in. And she was like, even like, knowing clearly she said she wasn't ready for a relationship. She wanted to start as friends. I'm like, I'm totally cool with that. We'll be friends for a couple of years. I don't care. Cause in my mind, I'm like, it'll be worth the wait. I was like, this is it. It'll be worth the wait. And that it was just, she just was like, no, I just can't do it. I can't. And I was like, okay, there it is. And normally I would have been like, oh, this sucks. But instead I was like, all right, well, shoot, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. Jason, maybe you should make that. Maybe that should be your quote on your shirt. It is what it is. buy that shirt. It'll have Pixel Jason on it. It is what it is. Because honestly, sometimes...
Next time you can wear the hoodie.
That's just how it is.
Yeah, true. I have
Crazy.
to get one of those.
Your dad said they're crying is bad. That means something absolutely sucks.
Something absolutely sucks. That's true. It's like, why are you crying? Usually it's sad, bad, sucky things.
I've had to develop my thoughts on sadness, though. Because, I mean, like, what happened?
Yeah.
Why are you sad?
Yeah.
Because something made you happy.
What?
Yeah.
Something made you happy that's not now making you happy.
Sadness isn't the enemy. Loss is.
Yeah.
Like, you're just attributing loss to sadness. But really, I mean, like, if you look at sadness and you're always looking at... If you, instead of going, dang, that's gone now, you go, oh, man, remember all those cool things that happened?
Yeah. Honestly, I thought of that same thing. I have this song. I wrote down the song idea. I haven't fleshed it out, but it was just like I had a little bit of inkling on a song idea where it's like crying over spilled milk. And because that's something that was like growing up really big for me. It was just like, you know, if something happened that I was like, oh no, I'd be like really upset over, let's just say I spilled I lost my ice cream. My balloon went into the sky or whatever it was, like crying over spilled milk. And I'd be like so devastated by it versus like what you're saying now is like thinking about the good times. And honestly, it took me until we're talking about mid-30s. Like, it took me my mid-30s to do that.
I remember crying in my kitchen because I couldn't open the bottle after divorce, and there was no man for me to opening it.
Oh, to open a bottle? Oh, no. Well, yeah, no, that's...
Like, Jason was on the other side of the world, and he couldn't just open the bottle for me, so I just cried about it.
Oh, no, that's not good. That's not... Wait, that was today?
No!
Oh, I thought...
After divorce, like, on the... Like, it was October, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah,
oh, okay. I thought you were saying like here, like you had to get Jason to open the thing. I was like, oh no, we're talking about the previous. No, you can't do that. That was the theme of this. But no, I get you. It's just like where you'd have certain things where it's like, man, why can't this? Or for me, I'm really big on expectations and things going according to my plan, whatever I thought was going to happen. And so when things don't go according to the plan or something's like, or so whatever it is, and I'm just like, honestly, that's the biggest thing for me that just, I'm in a bad mood. I'm really upset.
That's
like
what I'm saying
this sucks.
When I'm talking about the best thing my parents gave me is the ability to improv. Like the thing for yours, like things not going according to plan does not faze me at all. I'm just like, all right, well, I mean, if something fell directly in front of you, you're just going to walk into it and then be like, oh, that whole experience sucked because I tripped. No, you're going to walk around it.
Yeah, like me, I just spilled some coffee on me, and I would normally be like, oh, no, I spilled coffee on me. 2023, that would have got me. I'm like, on the show? Live on the show, I spilled coffee?
Wait,
now I'm 2025, I'm like, who cares?
What happened 2023? Was that divorce time?
No, that was 2019. That was even worse.
Oh.
That was even worse. In 2019, I was like trying to off myself.
So
in 2023, I was just really sad. And that was,
really?
I think, what made me sadder in 2023. Not physically sadder, because the level of sadness in 2019 was much higher. But it was like in 2023, you can't say, I don't think you can say suicide on that. But like, that was like 2019, there was comfort. You know what I mean? Like, there's comfort in going, bro, if it gets too bad, I'm out of here. You know what I mean? There's comfort in that. And then in 2023, I knew that wasn't an option anymore. I already learned that in 2020. And so it was like, that's not a way out. And so I didn't get comfort from that. So it's like I had to really sit in my sadness and process it and get it out. And, you know, for me, I'm Christian. So it's like, for me, I really had to, and that's where the God, he physically says in his book, you know, blah, 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 he gives you instructions. And he's like, just give it to me. It says, give your anxiety. 1 Peter 5:7 is cast all your anxiety upon him because he cares for you. And there's certain things like that where you're like, how? How do I do it? How do I cast it? And it's essentially like, I want to put this in your hands. Let me put this in your hands. Get it away from me. So that's what I've learned a lot over the last year is like when in my situation, because that's what a Christian means is like, all right, this guy, Jesus, he's my Lord and Savior. And essentially that means is like, I'm going to put him in charge of what's going on in my life. Well, if you put somebody else in charge of your life, then what are you worried about the things that are you doing, right? It's like, that's where a lot of people go like, oh man, how do I get out of this situation? I don't need to worry about that anymore because it's like, he will deliver me from these situations. So that's where you really got to learn to let go. You know how scary it would be to start driving and then somebody's like, hey, don't hold on to the wheel no more. You'd be like, you're nuts. You're nuts. Why? I gotta drive. Well, in this situation, that's kind of what it feels like. It's like, don't hold on the wheel no more. You're nuts. I have a life. I gotta live. Nah, he'll get it. And honestly, the more I let go, the more I give to him, the better it just has been. And that's the last year for me has been letting go more, giving more to God, and he just rains it right back on, in a good rain. It's not a bad rain. You're like, he rains it on you. No, in a good way. It's been fantastic. So realistically, that's what you got to do. Give it all to the Lord. All right, now we're going to go to our last section here, the after party, because it's a long after party.
It's the after party.
All right, so for the last couple weeks here, we haven't got to do an after party because I had the band, and they just like to yap. They don't like to do all this crazy stuff here. So I got a bunch of videos that I lined up for today. I'm going to start with this first one because Rachel sent this to me because it came up as a memory on her thingy-mabobby, and I was like, oh, that is so funny. I remember making this thing. And so it's a commercial I made for my old band, Vertical Killing Machine. I made this commercial March 31st of 2017. So this just happened 2 days ago, or actually a day ago, I guess. But what is it, 8 years ago at this point? It's crazy. So let's take a look at this commercial I made. We're in the Matrix. Let's take a look at this commercial I made for my last band. And let's look at me. There I am. Look at me.
Oh, hey, guys.
That's you?
That's
Al.
me.
I didn't recognize you.
That's Al.
To you from a hotel room in beautiful Kentucky.
I was in Kentucky, too.
Where's Dylan and Rob? Well, they're probably doing what they always do. Beating off.
They do. Dylan's always doing
We're
it.
playing the 89X Homeboy Show on the road. Friday, April 21st at the Token Lounge.
And we're playing at the
Tickets
Token
are just
Show.
$10, so message us, text us, call us, show up to our houses, watch us sleep through a bedroom window. Whatever, we'll get you some tickets. If you don't get tickets, you'd have to kick this bag of puppies. You don't want me to kick this bag of puppies, do you? Let us know about those tickets. See you next time.
Damn, that's dark.
There's a bag of puppies there.
That's so dark.
Did you see? There's a.
No, I want
there's
to
an
kick
asterisk.
you for those puppies. Like, those puppies
Did you see
don't
the asterisk? It says this is not a bag of puppies or whatever it said. Like it's not real.
Does it say there?
Yeah, it does.
See, it's not actual puppies. Chill the f out.
Okay.
Smiley face.
Okay,
It's just a really convincing sound effect, is it not? It
Yeah.
sounds like they're in the room in the bag. And if you don't buy tickets from me, I'm gonna kick these puppies. I wouldn't do that now, though. I probably would have done that before, though. So you can't let that get by me here.
But that really doesn't look like you now. Like.
Isn't that crazy? Like, because I used to have the mustache, and I was a little
No,
chunkier, a little younger.
You lost so much weight since then.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like, sometimes I look back and I'm like, I don't remember being that fat or like feeling that fat. It was just like normal. Like, it was just me. And then now I'm like,
Like, it still doesn't look fat, but you look much better since then.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Now, this has been announced. I don't know if you heard about this, Jason. This is legendary, especially for me with kids. But Nintendo announced a way for you to digitally share your games now. So it's called, you remember the DS and it did like download play?
Yeah.
This is almost the same thing, but essentially you lend a virtual game card. So then you bring your Switches over and you say, hey, you know what? Hey, let me borrow that Cuphead game or whatever. And then I could... And now you can play it on your own account.
And turn off the headphones. You're not buying that, okay?
Isn't that nuts? No, he don't got to buy nothing.
No, I already have the Switch. This is just a...
It's just now a way for you to share game. You know, back in the day, this is what's crazy. Back in the day, you could be like, hey, I want to borrow that game. And I would just give you the disc, right?
So you
even give
can
me the
just
cartridge.
send it.
But now all the games are digital. Who buys cartridges anymore? It's weird. So now they're like, how do we get people to share the games? And they're like, oh, well, we just give you basically an authentication, essentially.
Right.
So then you're like, oh, can I play? You know, I don't have Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Do you have that game, the Wonder game? That's the newest Super Mario Brothers.
No, not yet.
Let's say he had it. And now I could be like, hey, Jason, can I borrow it? And he'd be like, yeah, no problem. Let's do the sync thing. And now I'd be able to play it without paying for it.
Well, we would have to do what we did many years ago
he'd
and
take
have the Nintendo family.
He take it from his Switch. He put it to yours, so he can't play it on his Switch.
He can still play it.
So
isn't that nuts?
How aren't they losing money then?
If it was not the way that it is.
It has a it's not a forever. I think it's like a week. Oh, here we go. 14 days.
14 days. Oh,
14
okay,
days.
Okay.
So 14 days. I mean, that's plenty of time.
Yeah, that's true.
And then at 14 days, it goes boop.
It's gone.
And did you see it said save data will not be erased? It says it will not be erased. So you'll have your own save data.
Every 14 days he will just send it to you again and you can just continue
Technically.
playing.
Yeah. Or the idea is 14 days later you go, man, that was a good demo, essentially. I'm going to go buy it now. That's what they're hoping happens. But obviously, yeah, you could just keep sending it back.
Well, plus, also, Nintendo is notorious for making it, like, the family things.
Yeah.
It's people that live in your house. Like, there's not a lot of way that people are going to be able to cheat that and be sending games halfway across the world or whatever. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. Here, let me show you this. Let me show you this here. This is how we break out of the Matrix. I don't know if you knew this, Jason. I've never tried it. But you know those silica gel packs? And they say do not eat?
Yeah.
Those silica gel industry big shots, they can't tell me what to do. He eats it. Boom. Congratulations. You've escaped the simulation. That's how you get out. That's why they say don't eat it.
We're not condoning
They want to
that.
see who's going to actually eat it.
We're not condoning that.
I would never say that. I would never say to eat the silica gel packs.
No, don't do that.
You cannot do that.
You will escape
But
the simulation, but
there's
of
a
the life.
reason why they don't want you to eat it.
Yeah, you'll escape the simulation for sure.
Yeah.
The life.
One way or another. One way or another. We're going to see that. We have disclaimers. You know how it is. Don't do anything we tell you to either do or not do. Just don't do anything that anybody tells you to do. Remember how Jason said think for yourself? Do that. Think for yourself here. This one was funny because we were just talking about this the other day about Neil deGrasse Tyson and how he is. Boop, boop, boop. Here it is here. This is how Neil deGrasse Tyson acts on podcasts here.
The water. You can, dumbass. It just takes energy. You can do it. But why is that not being done on a large scale? Then shut the fuck up. I'm talking. Who's paying for that energy? I would think that it would be very valuable. It's not valuable enough yet, okay? I'm smarter than you. Was it that? It's just money, dude. It's just money, okay? I'm Neil deGrasse fucking Tyson. I'm a goddamn genius, okay? Shut the fuck up.
I don't know who is
why
it.
can't we take the salt out of the water? You can.
That's how
black guy.
Just take the energy. You can do it.
He's all over everything. I can't pull him up right now, but yes, he's.
So why can't we take
what's funny is like he's essentially like the new generation's Bill Nye.
Yeah.
Essentially, here I'm gonna just pull him up so you can see Neil deGrasse Tyson. This guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this guy. And honestly, my gripe with him is like that's how he acts to everybody. He's basically like, I'm smart, and you're not.
Yeah, when I
what a
watch
stupid
these
question.
things, I'm like, admittedly, I'm like, okay, I came here for information, not entertainment. But then I'm like,
he's like, you're a giant dumbass.
I really wish you'd stop trying to display it that way because, to be honest, like, you're not entertaining.
Yeah. It's condescending. I think he's a little too condescending. Now, my dad sent me one of these, and then I saw two more, so I grouped them together. But he's like, you should check out these aliens. He's like, it's kind of like you guys, you know. It's like they're talking about stuff, but they're aliens. And I was like, oh, okay, let me check that out here. So this is
us, but aliens.
Alien Us. The problem I have, I got to figure out like how to get it to be at the beginning with the sound on, because as soon as I move it to the beginning, the sound. It's just weird. I gotta have. This is what the producer would be doing. Hit it.
Humans just seem to be so confused about simulation theory.
Right?
Yeah.
It's very simple.
Like you are living in a simulation.
You're living in a simulation.
That's what this is.
There's absolute proof of it. Yeah. And guess what? You ain't getting out.
You ain't getting out.
You ain't getting out.
You better enjoy being a video game.
Enjoy being a sim character.
You know, but sometimes humans make me confused. Like, they make me wonder if we are living in a simulation or if we are just visiting their simulation. You know what I mean?
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of weird because I don't think it would be us in their simulation. I think it would be our simulation with them in there because two simulations can't simulize together. So so it's like us in our simulation looking at them in their simulation.
And then
doesn't that make sense?
Our simulation is stacked on top
but
of
that's
their
every time I'm
simulation.
watching the show, like I don't know what the hell you two are talking
At
about.
that point, it would be simulations, and we're looking at an emulator.
Oh my god, he still knows what they are talking about.
Like are we
that's
being
you.
watched right now?
That's you.
You know, that's
the black
the question
T-shirt.
that really
That's
gets to me. me.
Well, I thought he made the simulation.
Did we make the simulation?
Now I don't know.
Well, I don't know. 'Cause when we were traveling here, we came through a lot of stuff.
There was a lot of dimensions.
Yeah. You know, if we are in a simulation, I bet we're having a really good time.
We have to be.
Like, whoever is watching this simulation of us interacting with the human simulation is probably, like, really enjoying themselves.
Yeah. We would know. We would know. We would know. Right? We would know.
Yeah.
We would know.
We would
I'm
know.
sure it's fine.
Yeah.
For sure.
We would know if we were in the sim. Don't you guys think we would know?
I tell myself all the time, I'm like, the guy who's in control of this character sucks at this game.
Yeah.
Now I'm like
Not doing a good job.
overthinking if you two are not those aliens just in the human skin, you know? Like
We're human-skinned aliens.
Yeah. We just that was naked.
Yeah.
All right, there was
you gotta
one.
pay extra for that.
This one's them discussing
Really? Really?
conspiracy theories here.
That's what I look like.
I don't know why it's not default on.
Dude, humans believe in some crazy stuff.
Oh,
like
it's
crazy stuff.
It's insane.
Yeah. But you know what's crazy is that they think what they believe in is crazy. Like the conspiracies that humans believe in that are actually true. Like if they knew
what we know,
they would lose their mind.
You want to know what a human actually asked me the other day?
What?
He asked me. He said, "Hey, do you think the moon landing is real?"
Really?
Yeah, he asked me, and I was like, "Well, I don't necessarily think humans are capable of going to the moon."
Wait. Do you think the moon is real?
For a second there, I was like,
you don't know.
I
still don't know.
I don't know.
You still don't know.
I still don't know.
Did you think the moon was real, Jason? I know I didn't.
It's a part of the simulation.
Yeah, because nothing's real. That's a joke.
Yeah.
None of it's real. And this is what they think is stupid about us.
You know what's so stupid about humans?
Yeah.
I mean, besides everything,
yeah.
They believe that their politicians actually work for them.
Oh, they have it.
Isn't that crazy?
So messed up.
They actually put like a lot of faith in their elected leader.
They think that they're actually going to put their own self-interest behind what they're doing for their constituents.
You know what else is so dumb about humans?
What?
Their money is worth less today than it was yesterday. Isn't that insane? Like they created a store of value that's literally storing less and less value day by day.
Wow.
Dude, they need us so bad.
They need us so bad.
They need us so bad.
They need us the worst.
They need us. Or I guess they're saying we need them.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? Like, we created a currency, every country, it's like, it's worth less every day. Yeah. This is the dumbest thing we've done.
Isn't it like cheaper to buy stuff which is on sale, buy it in a big amount and just save it?
Well, that's just doing the best with what you can, like taking the situation and making the best out of it. But the fact is, like, a gallon of milk was like a nickel, 100 years ago.
Although there might be some something to that, because what happens with the things you buy? They cost more.
Yeah, and you will still use them at home.
But your money costs less, so you technically
money's worth less, things cost more.
Yes.
That's how my grandma used to do that.
I gotta spend all my money today.
You do?
Yeah, my grandma used to just spend money on the big amount of groceries at one point.
No, I don't care what it is.
She was circling like sell stuff in those paper like ads from the stores. And
if I had spent all my money on eggs,
she has like 10 kilos, which is like, I don't know how many ounces it is actually, so whatever, like 10 bags of flour.
Yeah.
And she bought it at one point just because it was on really cheap sale, and she used it all.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense for things you can buy that are non-perishable. You know what I mean? If it's non-perishable, it's going to be good for a long time. That's what they call what do they call it? Not bunkers. What are they called? Like preparers. There's a word for the people that like
preppers.
Bunkers. They prep in the bunk though. Yeah, where they'll buy beans and they'll buy like all sorts of stuff that doesn't go bad for many years. Yeah, like jar it up.
I saw you have there like bunch of cans in the.
Yeah, I'm prepping.
Yeah.
I'm prepping. Yeah, but I'm only prepping like weird fruits and beans.
Yeah, enough for like today.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
just,
can't.
no, we're gonna be like Mickey Mouse in the Christmas story where they're cutting the bean.
You can do
bean
dry food like you have those like packs for soldiers, you know.
Like
yeah,
MRIs.
MRIs. We're scanning our brains. Like that's how we feed us is the radio waves into our brains here. Speaking of radio waves into our brains, check this out because it's really creepy. And I just thought, man, we really should see this thing.
You already your list of links.
Yeah. This is you are what you eat.
No.
Isn't that nuts? I'm gonna turn this. I don't know why it's so loud. It's like. This is AI generated content. Obviously, I don't know if you guys. I think I saw this. Isn't this nuts?
I will have nightmares after this today.
AI is getting good.
Yeah.
This looks really legit. I mean, if you were ramen noodles eating ramen.
If you heard someone screaming tonight, it's me, okay?
That's great. What about Spaghetti Man eating spaghetti?
Oh my god.
That's kind of mind-bending right there.
No.
That one's really creepy. Is that really creepy?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Let's take a look at our
You read your list. You are not getting lost in those links.
No, yes, this is preparation getting better every day. What about this one here?
Is this AI too?
I don't know. I think this is actually real.
Yeah,
this might have been real here. Let's take a look because he's supposed to load.
You will be having nightmares too.
No, I don't think so. This is like a legit. It's probably like Australia or something. I don't know.
It's supposed to be spider, right?
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yes, quick question for you. Why are you so cute?
The heck?
Did you see all those people like going
taking the babies?
Question for you.
What is this? It's like a spider dude.
Excuse me.
That's like
excuse me, sir.
birthing babies all over the place. I don't know. This is what AI came up with.
Yeah, that's pretty
But those
weird.
babies are really weird too.
Yeah, it's really like I don't know. AI's getting really good with this. This one's in particular really. I think my dad will really enjoy this one. This is AI's getting out of hand here. George Floyd versus Derek Jones. What? How? How did they do that? How
That's
nuts?
too much.
That's nuts. That's a little spicy. That's a little spicy. You can't. They're like, you can't play that. I can do whatever I want. All right, here we go. This is my mental state if I keep my job for the next 10 years here. Gary Busey does it pretty well.
Let's talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face. What about buttered sausage?
It's not your jam. It's not your thing. You don't like it?
It's not my jam. I don't buy jam. I buy honey.
He's gone. Gary Busey's gone.
Did you see his like
Hey, I'm
eyes are not
halfway
even
there.
the same.
Yeah.
Isn't that nuts?
I'm halfway there. I have my job for 5 years already.
Let's talk about your Cable Ace Award.
Let's talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does.
What is he on? Or it's just his brain is deteriorated.
To be honest, I think at this point
It's dementia, I would say.
Dementia. I think he's just tired of people walking up to him and asking stupid
because
questions.
he was already crazy.
Yeah, he's just like, whatever,
So
dude.
now he's
I'm
just
just
living
gonna.
it.
When people say things to him, he's just like,
Yeah.
whatever comes to mind. Like, you have apple hair, and I threw a pancake into the river. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
He is AI generated content.
Yeah.
At this point. No, that's real, but in his brain, he's like, I'm just AI.
I think that's dementia. though.
This is when you take the corporate softball game a bit too far. Hang on here. I want to get you good sound just in case. Let's rewind it.
In case somebody gets smacked.
No.
Look at him. Got him. Got him. Look at this. You know he could have just tagged her. He's like, I got to take out her legs.
She
Isn't
was
that
up
nuts?
for a promotion that he wanted. Like, no.
That's a little much.
It's not even legal in...
Isn't it his supervisor? You know, like there is some hatred.
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Or she asked him out and he said no. That could be it as well. I thought of this when I said, oh, this is really good. I really want to know this too. No, don't heart it. I mean, I guess you can heart it since I'm showing it on my show, but still, no, I just don't like that I can't rewind and do this. There's a specific order here. All right.
Why do cars have the capacity to go to 240 kilometers per hour when this speed is illegal?
It's not illegal in Germany.
And for one little tiny country in the entire world.
It's not even much possible for a car go 240.
That's only 120 miles an hour, of course. Yeah. It's
not
completely
too
possible.
much.
It's completely possible.
120?
120 miles an hour.
I could definitely do it.
But
yeah.
My car goes
in like 60
but
seconds.
This is the thing. Every country, minus the one road in Germany. It's not the whole Germany. One road in Germany.
I was driving on the Anbad, actually.
One road in Germany. So for 99.9999999% of the population in countries, they all have speed limits that are well below that. Why do they allow cars to go double the speed limit of most normal countries?
The new cars have the limitation already, though, built in. They are not letting you go faster.
In Europe?
Yeah.
They got a limitation on there?
On electric
it's
cars.
called a governor.
I was gonna say not really, because Teslas can
go. On electric cars, they have a limitation built.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's literally called a governor, and it's called that because it regulates your speed.
It's like software in there.
But I was driving on an Anbad and testing how fast my car can
oh,
go.
Really?
She got up to like 15 miles an hour. Like, whee!
No, I was 180 kilometers per hour. If you divided 1.3, you got miles.
Yeah.
If I divide it. Wait a second.
That's all right. I'll preload the next thing.
Divided 1.3. 138 was the fastest my car can go.
There you go. See? But 138 is twice any normal speed limit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, why do they do
that's
that,
even twice the freeway.
She said, like, okay, well, they don't let you know more. All right, so for the last 100 years that we've had cars, why did they build them where you can't?
Pride of ownership. You know, everybody wants to work on their car and be like, it goes real
fast. Win. That's what I'd be like, oh, it goes real fast, win. They'll be like, well, when I...
illegal street racing.
When I illegally street race. Oh, okay. That makes sense. They should have never, you know what I mean? It should have been like, oh, all the cars go 70 miles max. If you're not an illegal street racer, they wouldn't do this. But, you know, you're I don't know. You get some sort of certification, they take off the restriction, and then now your car can go. You get what I'm saying? Or they put in the extra piece that makes it go faster. They turboize it. That's how it should have been, but they were like, no, bro, we'll make them go real fast, and then we'll limit them, so that way we can give them speeding tickets to make money that generates revenue for the city.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You think they did it on purpose? My dad said the fastest he's gone was 140 in Carlene's convertible. That's kind of crazy. I'd say the fastest I went, I remember specifically where and when it was. It was back in 2007, working at Little Caesars, driving home from Dearborn Heights to go to Detroit. There's this one long stretch of road on I-94 that's very straight, and especially when you're going home at like 3 o'clock in the morning, there's nobody there. And I was in a Ford Focus, a little Ford Focus, and I think I got up to like 105, and, you know, I was just like, oh, I don't know. I was freaking out, honestly, going past 90. I was like, oh, this is crazy. But then once you get to like 97, I'm like, might as well go 100, you know what I mean? And then I went 100, and I was like, a little more. And then I got to 105, and I was like, all right, I'll slow down. Because that's just nuts, which is just crazy. And it wasn't like you would think the Ford Focus would be like, oh, I'm going to fall apart. No, it was actually relatively keeping up with it, but it's just kind of freaky to go that fast. Obviously dangerous. Kids, don't do that. Yeah. Don't try to do that. You got to go to Germany.
Yeah.
You got to go to Germany for that one road. All right.
I'm actually living 1 hour from Germany.
There you go. So you're driving it all the time. Now you're just going to get used to it. Now, this is the NASA Curiosity robot. This is what the night sky looks like on Mars. This is
what the night sky on Mars looks like. 250 million miles away from us.
Isn't that nuts? Because you see all the stars. There is no light pollution because there is no light.
Even if you're on the Earth where there is no light, you can't see that.
No, because there's nowhere there's very little places on Earth where there's no light for
maybe because
this
we
a
have
many
the
amount of
Also,
miles.
this doesn't have an atmosphere.
Yeah, we don't have that.
Yeah.
There's an atmosphere.
So this is, remember I was talking about this like a few weeks ago where I was like, what would space look like if you weren't on the Earth? Because I was thinking at the, if you were on the moon maybe, but even the moon,
But then
you got a lot of light going on there.
Then looking at the stars became quickly boring because you can't just see the star, like the shape of how is it called, the star, when you have those like areas?
Constellations.
You have no constellations.
Well, you
there.
do. You have every constellation though. You know what I'm
but
saying? You got to be like, oh, I got to pin the.
You can't find them in it. Like it's like.
But this is the thing. The constellations are just stars that we can see, and we're like, oh, I can see, 6 of them on the shape of this, but there is a billion stars in between all 6 of those.
Yeah,
things,
but then
you know what I mean?
you will try to find it like the needle in.
That's what I'm saying. Like all constellation, that's just a fake man-made concept. There's not actually like a. Oh, well, there's only these 8 stars in this one pattern. No, there's 8 billion stars in between each one of those 2 stars. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, that would be absolutely nuts. That'd be absolutely nuts. I think the best you can get is like probably Antarctica. You got to get so far away from any light. So like even having a little bit that's 100 miles away is still some light pollution versus, what we're seeing here. Obviously, you get, like you said,
you would get light pollution from your own sun.
Or the Aurora Borealis.
Sun at night, though.
And the Aurora Borealis.
That's when the Aurora Borealis happens.
Yeah. In the north. That's what I'm saying. You basically got to be at the top or the bottom.
Yeah.
Go to the top or go to the bottom. So we're going to.
That's where light is bent the most.
Boop, boop, boop. Bent the most, unless you're on the. Because think about it, we're tilted.
You don't have to be on Antarctica to see Aurora Borealis, actually.
Well, Aurora is on the north, though. Antarctica is on the bottom.
Oh, okay, but even in Czech Republic, there are places where you can just see it.
Oh yeah, we have it here too. Like there was a couple times where it just happens, but it happens all the time.
Actually, what color is there? Because we usually have a red one.
I think it's just whatever it's reflecting. So it's either red or green or.
Well, at this point, like this part of the globe, it would probably be like greenish blue.
Oh, cool.
Well, the one that happened when I was sitting here editing, I don't remember what, I was either editing a video or the EP or something, and there was a massive one that happened like all over most of the country, and I saw all the photos like the next day, and they're like, could you believe it? Like everybody went outside. It was like pink. It was like a pink red.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, why didn't anybody tell me that day? I would have just walked outside. But instead I was sitting at my computer like working really hard.
Yeah.
So that's what I get for working so hard.
on the window, so you didn't.
I know. I leave the curtain shut because I'm like, I gotta work. Time to get to work here. This is a real life Pokemon fight. Can you believe it that they did this? Hang on, don't do it here. Boop boop. All right. The people can't see it. They're like, I want to see it. This is 2 squirrels going at it here. They don't like each other. They're doing like tackle, agility, like seismic toss. That boy did the flip. I love how the dog's just looking. He's like, I'm taking out whoever wins. Why are they going so crazy? Do you think he's like, bro, that's mine.
They steal each other nuts.
That's my nuts.
That's nuts.
That's why did you take my nuts? Now there was a few of these different videos, but I could only find the one. I don't know if he deleted the other. It's not on his account, but there's this guy called James Heston. He's been going viral for the last couple weeks here. And great idea. We should have done this. We could still do this, but I just really don't feel like going viral, at least in this way. But he's walking in, this one in particular, he's walking into Target saying he's from District. So let's take a look at James Heston here. Bro pulled up with his own coworkers here. Boop.
Let's get this ironed out. Check your HR emails. We were going into a different one. They didn't need us there. They sent us here. You guys are good to go. What do you mean we're good to go? Go ahead and bring the guys in.
You're not even on the phone, dude. Come on, get out of the store.
See if I was on the phone or not. Here. You guys can get to work. We're all good. Everyone get to work. If you guys want to go ahead and take over the lanes, go ahead.
Get out. Hey, out.
No, go ahead and take over the lanes. Go ahead and I need people at self-check. I'm a district, and these are my workers. These are my workers. You guys need to Customer, you're good. Customer, hey, I got y'all right here.
They all got Target shirts on. They're like, hey, take over.
You guys are good to get out. You're literally cleaning this right now. What are we talking about?
He's cleaning.
He's literally cleaning this right now.
This is crazy. So this is the first one that he did that went viral. He went into a Target. He's like, I'm from district, and we're cleaning up house, so that he brings in all his place. And then I seen another one, but I couldn't find it, where he goes into a Chipotle, does the same thing. He's like, hey, I'm from district. You guys are all good to go. You're let go. You're fine. All right, bring in the boys. And then they all got Chipotle shirts on. He's like, all right, go ahead and start wiping the table. And they just start getting, and it's so funny because the people, obviously, they're like, bro, I don't know you. And they're freaking out. But it's like, that is such a funny idea, and that's why he's going viral right now. But we could do that for like Little Caesars. That'd be so funny. Roll up with the Little Caesars polos and just but we need like an army of workers, you know what I mean? We need a bunch of people that go in for the skit.
Anxiety from those people who are actually working there, just freaking out. They are just losing their job or someone else walking in.
No, they're ready to, they're like, no, you're getting out.
Yeah.
Like, they were not fooled at all.
They weren't fooled at all, but it would be funny,
so
especially
rude.
about
Yes, definitely.
most of the time, like for these Little Caesars, they're usually ran by like people that have no idea what they're doing on a normal day. So if you just said, hey, I'm from corporate, you guys all got to go. All right, bring in the boys. And then we just like 8 people. They would all probably leave. They'd be like, oh, no way. This is crazy.
Yeah, dang, again?
I gotta go. That'd be nuts. But obviously, that would just be stealing their idea. We gotta do something original here. So we'll see about this. This one, it was just dark humor. It made me chuckle. I figured Jason would appreciate some dark humor here, and some people out there as well. But this is me giving my dad his angry juice after my mom made me delete Fortnite.
That's messed up.
That's messed up. I was like, who made this? It's like, time for the angry juice. Thanks, Mom. Why would she make you delete Fortnite? That's crazy. This one, it's kind of a little bit on the dark humor, but it's called Hopecore. I don't know if you heard about this, but it's saying random things. But, hey, I've been logged into TikTok. But you have this specific soundtrack in the back, so it makes it sound really inspirational.
Statistically, you're going to be better at it.
Yes, hang on. You got to rewind it.
If you drink and drive every night, statistically, you're going to be better at it. If you drink and drive once a month, you're going to be all nervous. You got to do it a lot, okay? That's what needs to happen. I'm telling you what it is.
See, this is called Hopecore. I've seen a ton of these where it's just like they're saying either the most random thing or the craziest thing or dark whatever, but you put that background music on it, it really sounds like inspirational.
Uplifting, yeah.
And they call it Hopecore.
And there is some kind of a limit where you can drink just one beer or something?
Well, you can get 0.08% blood alcohol content.
Yeah, in my country it's just 0. Nothing above that.
Nothing above one sip. So they're like, oh, go 300 miles an hour, but don't take a sip of the good angry juice.
Even those pralines with rum in it, you can't eat them before driving.
Oh, wow. Might as well just lock you up already.
Yeah.
Probably don't even have freedom of speech over there.
Let's talk about buttered sausage.
Let's talk about buttered sausage. Oh, where did it go here? Oh, this is... The enemy character gonna go insane. This is the camera angle. It's like when you see this angle, you just know like something crazy's about to happen. I was like, oh man, that is so true. You got the fisheye lens, put it right between your eyeballs. It's like, oh, this person's about to snap. This is not good. Not good there. Flying Elbow Man. Oh boy.
Is this the same thing as One Punch Man?
Yeah, except for it's One Elbow Man. Let's take a look at this guy.
Oh no. No.
Dude, I was just talking about this guy.
No. He's not going to do that.
It's for the Juggalos, Jason!
No.
He's been doing this for years.
Are you kidding me?
Fuck this shit! Whoop, whoop.
No.
He did that to a microwave one time.
Why he's doing that?
He said that one hurt the most. He was like, that actually hurt a lot more than he expected.
The microwave versus the cinder block?
Hey,
This don't think the microwave gave a little?
Does he know that he will have to pay for surgery of that elbow? Like there is no free insurance.
This is what you call a dumbass. Okay, I don't know if you've had
doing this.
Get the views.
My
this
elbow
is for the
hurts now
juggalos.
for him.
This is for the juggalos. My goodness here. These Brits, they're from Britain. They came over to Detroit. They tried Little Caesars. Of course, they went to Detroit because you got to go to the headquarters.
Well,
but
I already know what's happening.
You already know what's gonna. If you're from Detroit, you already know.
Order. We've never been here before.
You've been to Little Caesars?
We're from London.
Welcome. Mainly everybody gets like a hot and ready. We usually get butter and parm all over.
Oh, really?
You don't say.
They're pretty cheap.
Hello.
Listen, y'all have came to the best spot.
Is that why they named the arena after them?
Exactly.
So, a hot and ready was what everyone was ordering? Pre-cooked, right? Yeah. Apparently it used to be like $5. Okay, let's do it. This is really good. I think what I'm most blown away by is the sheer amount of food for $43. It's grotesque, but it's also incredible.
Those
what would you
portions
recommend we
in
order?
USA
We've
are
never been
so
here
big.
before.
Which just nuts. It's like, of course he went to Detroit and he asked some random dude, like, how do we get it? Oh, we put that butter palm. We get that, circle it up.
They wouldn't even say words. They just do this.
Boop. You know what I'm talking about, that butter?
Oh, stop.
Put that butter, cheese it up. It's like, bro, you know it was already bad for you. Now you're making it 10 times worse for you. 10 times worse.
If somebody would come in right before close and assume that your pizza was super old, they'd be like, make sure you put a whole bunch of that butter on there.
Can you explain this to me? Because I don't know what's going on.
Oh,
actually
okay,
there.
yeah, I forgot. You're not from here either.
Yeah,
all right,
no.
so first of all, this is Little Caesars.
I know.
Do you know about
I
Little
know.
Caesars?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
they do cheap food fast.
Yeah.
They have it pre-made, ready to go. It's only $5. Well, now it's like $7 or whatever. But back in the day, it was $5. So then, what customers in Detroit started doing. I think it was because we did it as a market-wide test in Detroit, because obviously the headquarters is here, and we said, hey, you know the butter and parm that we put on breadsticks, wouldn't it be crazy if we put it all over the pizza? So we tested it in the Detroit market, and everybody loved it. They're like, oh, bro, you gotta get that. Boo, 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 boo. So then they essentially imagine just taking a pizza, slapping a bunch of butter, and then putting Parmesan cheese all over it. Now, everybody, usually people do the... It's like Parmesan cheese is like a normal thing, but it's like nobody just slaps on butter all over your pizza. It's like nuts.
Yeah.
That was a new concept. So then in different, how can I say this? Different, what is it, urban? They say it urban areas. It seems to be there's a preference for butter and parm in certain areas that are a little more urban. And so those things, if you want to increase your sales, like Jason's like, he went down to Texas, he's like, hey, maybe we start telling them about the ooh. And I was telling Jason, I was like, I don't know if we want to open that can of worms. Because it's like kind of a hassle. You got to take the pizza and then somebody has to do it versus like...
Some people would order double or triple butter parm.
Boop, boop,
they would pay...
It's like heart attack in box.
That's what they called it.
Yeah, they call it the heart attack special or whatever it is. It's like, you know...
The heart stopper.
This is going to be bad for you. But you're like, oh, but it tastes so good.
But they're like, I don't care. I don't even want the pizza. The pizza... is really just a
carbs
spoon.
And fat.
It's a spoon for the butter.
Edible spoon for
Give
the
me
butter.
more of that butter. Now, this is what these Mexicans are doing. This is Little Caesars Mexican style
guacamole.
here.
Really?
Yeah, guacamole here. I don't know why it takes a second to load, but here it is. Little Caesars in Mexico. First of all, I like how they have the
Hawaiian.
Yeah, they got the
They
Hawaiian
love
style.
Hawaiian. That was
Yeah.
huge in Texas.
Those Mexicans and their Hawaiian. That's so funny. Boop boop. I'll just reload it and hit it.
Wow, you really
But that
lost your
shouldn't
mind.
be that, even though guacamole is fat too.
It's guacamole. I'm pretty sure that's probably like pork. There's the steak.
Barbacoa.
Is he making a
Get
burrito
cilantro.
out of it?
It's basically like a taco pizza.
Yeah, right.
Somebody is looking at this and going, my food cost.
Right. Oh yeah, with the hands and just slapping it all over. First of all, that's a whole plate, 2 plates worth of meat. He's like, give me all that meat there. That's nuts. Look at all that.
I want to know price for that because they
You
had
could-
still lose.
You could tell it's literally Little Caesars in Mexico because it is written in Spanish
But
on the side
how
of the
much
box.
is for that? Because they had to lose money on that.
Yeah, so this clearly isn't a Little Caesars, but you know, they buy it and they take it to the food truck and then somebody's like, oh, let me get that super special. So they're probably charging, triple for it. So they're making the money because, they buy it in. We're talking about buying in bulk. They're like, I got a bag of onions that's like 50
It's not the
pounds.
$5 pizza though.
No, but it ain't $5. It ain't $5. But that honestly, it looked good. Minus the pork stuff, I'd die. But the rest of it looked good.
I would eat it for like a week. I couldn't finish it in maybe a week, and then I would just puke because it would be too old.
Oh yeah, you don't want to eat it that old. No, I was telling Jason about this. This guy, he's been going viral this week because of these boomer videos that he's been doing that are just nailing just interactions with boomers here at this one's at a bank.
He looks like he's gonna nail it.
Have you tried using an ATM for that?
A what?
Have you tried using the ATM?
ATMs are for homosexuals and women.
Do you have your deposit slip, sir?
Frank never makes me fill out a deposit slip.
Well, Frank's not here today, and I'm going to need that deposit slip.
Okay. You listen to me. Call Frank right now. I'm not filling out a deposit slip like a goddamn receptionist.
I need to see your debit card.
My front yard, freshly mowed.
Your debit card.
Oh, okay.
This is a Costco card.
Listen, if you can't look me up using a Costco card, I need to find another goddamn bank. Back in my day, you didn't have to jump through all these damn hoops at the bank. You give them your money, they put it in your account. That's the problem with the world nowadays. Not enough trust.
Can I at least get your phone number to look up the account?
I don't trust you, and I will not be giving you any of my personal information. Are you going to sell to China? Russia? My social security number is 392.
Hello, sir.
Deposit.
Have you tried using an ATM?
So that's one.
What is deposit slip?
That's where you tell the bank, I have this account, and put this money that I'm bringing you into this account.
Yeah, this amount of money goes here.
Oh yeah, in Europe you need to still like show the new bank
Man, I'm
showing
seeing these
your
links and I'm like, are you
old banks. Like you still have to show them your bank history also.
Well, I'm assuming like you have, let's say, $50 and you show up to the bank, they would need you to fill out something that says put it in blank.
What?
This account number, this.
You get what I'm saying? Like you don't just hand them $50 and they go, oh, Carolina.
Yeah, they don't
You get
know
what I'm
who
saying?
you are. They don't
know. What's your account number? 2564 and 3222. You get what I'm saying? You got to fill out a slip that tells them where it goes.
Oh yeah.
Or I guess they could just take it. This is the average boomer at a tech repair shop.
iPad.
What's wrong with it?
iPad, bro.
How are you?
Fix broke iPad.
He just broke it.
What?
The iPad, what's wrong with it?
I told you, it's f***ing broke. Are you deaf?
So, sir, did you get the warranty?
I don't know. Ask your little computer.
It says here you declined.
I specifically remember getting the warranty.
Sir, I need to see the iPad.
My iPad?
Yep.
So you can steal my personal information?
No, so I can fix it.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Sir, here's the problem. Your screen's broken.
What?
The screen is broken.
How do you know that already?
I can see it.
I don't like the tone you use.
Boomers are the old people.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so I fixed the screen.
You clean?
I fixed the screen.
You clean the screen.
I fixed it.
How much is this going to cost me?
It's $199 plus tax.
You can take this back.
Oops. I'll be back. Very nice. Boomers. That's how them boomers be. That's how them boomer. I got one more. Boomers getting fast food. And it is truly how they be.
We don't have that.
What do you say again, everyone?
Hi, can I help you?
McTurkey.
We don't have that.
Meatloaf sandwich.
We don't have that either.
And you people want $15 an hour? you piece of cheeseburger.
Do you want fries and a drink with that?
No.
Well, that completely...
Let me finish. I also want fries and a drink.
Here's your receipt, sir.
This isn't my order.
What seems to be the problem?
My name is not Benjamin.
That's my name.
Why would your name be on my receipt? Are you trying to steal my goddamn order? Hey, my food was terrible.
I'm sorry, sir. We can remake it for you.
Yeah, and wait another 3 fucking hours? I want a damn refund right now.
I can't refund it. You've eaten it.
You know what we used to do to little punks like you back in the day? You're goddamn lucky there's cameras here, son. God bless.
Wow.
God bless.
That is just how it be. How it be. Them boomers Poor boys.
Too much.
This bread will decide if you're gay, Jason. Just so you know.
I feel like
I haven't watched it all the way through.
You are.
Okay,
but
now I'm watching this way.
You better watch it. Everyone watch closely.
Oh,
This guy's been going viral the last couple weeks because he has
I know the answer
a slice
already.
of bread this is all he does. He cuts bread.
And it stays.
And it'll stay in place until a decision has been made.
Yeah, I saw that.
So if one way or another, we're going to let the bread
already
speak.
From that video.
Let the bread speak.
And it will take
It was leaning no at first. We saw that clearly. So it has to gather the
I
information.
don't like your play-by-play.
I'm just saying, look, it's dead still. It might not move. And if it doesn't move, then I'll call, you'll get out of it. You'll get out of it. It could be, I don't know. I mean, the video is almost over now, so maybe it doesn't move. I don't know. We're going to see.
I think that after this video, this will be over, babe.
I don't know. It could be no.
No, I know the answer
I don't
already.
know. Nobody knows.
I know it.
It could be
I saw
anything.
it.
Why is it twisting like
Why
that?
is it so still? Oh,
Okay, I'm
Oh,
going.
no.
I'm going.
Oh, no.
The bread gives me anxiety, bro.
The bread gives it away. But what's so funny is that, like, you go to this guy's channel, and that's, like, every video he
didn't wanna
has.
find out
He's
like
called
that.
The Bread Guy. And it's just people giving him questions, and then he'll slice it and just let the bread decide. And he gets millions and millions of views. I'm over here working my butt off, and he's like, what happens if I had a slice of bread and I just cut it? And everybody's like, yeah, 5 million views. Like, okay, that makes sense.
Thanks, all. Now I have to go through the surgery, became a man.
There you go. That's how you can, yes, you can offset it here. All right, I'm going to end the after party with an uplifting video after all that stuff here. Jason's like, I need something to give me some positivity.
Some sort of...
This will give you some positivity, Jason, okay? And this will give everybody positivity to play us out here.
If you can list the fucked up things that have happened in your life and you can put that on a list and you somehow made it past all of this to be in a position where you can still go make some stuff happen, that's what you have in common with every hero of every story, of every autobiography, of every... Wow. Is how much happened to you that should have broke you, that did not break you, so that you were able to then fucking ride. Amen. Amen.
Look at that, people.
I have goosebumps.
Just think about it, man. So I want to leave you guys on all that positivity right there. I know we've all been through a lot of crazy stuff, but you're still here today, in this moment, able to move past that because you've overcome every single obstacle that's ever came into your way. And so with that note, we're going to leave you. Thank you, Jason, Carolina, everybody in the chat. Thank you so much. And I will see you next time. We are out. Good day.
I'm sorry, everyone. The show's over, but we thank you for joining us. Thank you for your time. We're out of here.
You what?
Good day.
Are you
That was legitness. Yeah, it was. Huh?